Planet 2.
There we go. How's the volume compared to my voice? Doing good.
Hi everybody, Uranium Anchor here. I'm going to be running Freedom Planet 2 Carol for y'all. I have 3 commentators. If they would like to introduce themselves.
I shall lower it slightly.
Hello, I'm Punchy. You might remember me from earlier in the marathon. I ran a Dreamcast
Punchy.
game, but I also worked on this game for 3 years as one of the core testing staff, which makes this technically dev commentary.
Indeed,
Punchy's one of our testers. Really nice fellow. He also runs our Discord server for Galaxy Trail.
I run this category as well. That's all the qualifications I have to be here, I guess.
That's more right now. Hello, people. I'm Revolution. Another
Uranium Anchor is tech crew at GDQ. I myself did not know that, so that's really cool.
Category, but also a runner of the Green Cat in the
Oh my gosh, I love Punchy's commentary whenever he does commentary.
So he's gonna
he usually gets
great
tapped
run,
by GDQ to speedrun horror games,
as you can
like Silent
see,
Hill.
I've played nothing but Carol. I haven't even played
It's kind of a unique combination. He speedruns horror and he speedruns mascot platformers.
Like 6 years ago, with the intent of trying to get it into Freedom Planet 1 into the marathon, and so this is like an accidental long game. I had absolutely had to wear this. Hopefully it's visible.
Oh yeah, the Carol shirt from way back in the day.
During the interview, but I didn't have time. So,
I think we got that produced in like 2000.
We made 4 whole characters.
2014, 2015.
Files of the same one.
I promise you I'll play the other 3 when I get home, but...
Uranium was also one of the original AGDQ speedrunners. Oh, that's really cool.
Okay, so I'm going to be
I am
starting
honored.
on beginner. This doesn't really affect the run too much, but it does
You saw Punchy in another run this year. His commentary is great. Yeah.
I'm going to be using throughout the run.
His commentary is something of a meme in our community.
As well as having to actually save up enough gems to buy it. So
We made a meme out of his tendency to say fun fact.
Nothing else really super matters. But
To clarify, the difficulties just change what you start with. They don't actually affect the game itself.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
it changes not only items, just a couple settings,
sorry,
like
I
assist
would like
settings.
I would like to go ahead and get the run started. And you can explain this while I'm playing through the first stage. So
Started playing the first game after the speed run.
2, 1.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Go.
I'm glad you liked the first game. Go!
All right, first thing I'm going to do is turn off auto guard because I don't like it.
That's one of the settings I mentioned, yes.
Yeah, when you start on beginner, it
Thank you, Kai Prion, for the follow. I appreciate it. Oh, Kai Pyrion.
That's why I
Is that how
play
you
on
pronounce your
expert.
name?
Well,
Oh.
Yes,
Welcome.
guard is a mechanic where you can press a button to do like a spot dodge that like lets you go through.
We're
an
watching the
attack invincibly.
AGDQ speedrun
they don't want it on, zip
of
into
a
different
game that I
platforms.
produced.
This is Carol. She does kicks in the air and the kicks make her go fast. That was actually a surprisingly late addition to her kit in development. She didn't have that for a while.
Really?
And then one day, one of the programmers added it in, quote, a fit of annoyance.
yes.
They were like, this cat sucks. She can't go fast. I'm adding kick. And everyone was like, this is good.
Yeah, the kick was there since the beginning, but it didn't give a lot of momentum. Well, actually, it didn't give any momentum.
It really messed with her.
So one of our programmers, Proto, he had the idea to make it give her a boost of speed when she uses it.
Mostly increase her damage against bosses, right? And also...
Yes.
FB2 is so pretty. Thank you, Alex. I agree. Our pixel artist did an amazing job.
Now we can have the bike.
I've said this a few times in the
When you press
past,
the guard button on the bike, that's the sort of blue flash that appears.
but
You
one of my
boost on
goals
the bike,
with the
and then it
graphics
uses you
in
to
this
top
game
very quickly.
from
So
the very
with
start
bike,
was to give it the
Carol is
same
very
graphical
mobile,
fidelity as a
very
2D
quick. She's also
fighting
very
game.
sticky. She like attaches
And
to
I think we
every single
succeeded.
surface she
Yeah,
taps.
this is already a bit of a messy,
Ooh, got through.
a messy start to this level, but
You got through the gap there and got the gold gem. That's all that matters. That is like a one-way street. If you miss that, you don't get a second shot.
yeah.
Yep.
Thankfully, there's a pretty consistent setup for that, and also I have a backup.
Can't imagine
gem I
working
can
on a
put
game
from
like
Phoenix
this.
Highway if
Must
I
have been
really
quite
need
the
it,
treat.
So it's not a huge
Oh
success.
yes, it was a treat and an
Gem I
ordeal
wanna get up
at the
here.
same
I was hoping
time.
to just launch
But
myself
we
up,
overcame
I
it.
didn't quite get it.
We did an awesome
3
job.
gold gems.
I'm so proud of our team.
Hopefully, I get this.
All right, first boss.
First boss.
Throws the bike straight up, because you can use the bike as a projectile. Got it stuck on them. Got the big damage there straight away, taking off the first phase before it's even landed.
Oh my gosh, both the health bars already.
Out when the boss has landed, but the hitboxes are overlapped.
So that was like a
when,
phase skip.
The boss is
bouncing on the
in a
wall.
ball. So ideally, you want to be dealing damage then.
I missed it.
Yes. So Kara has this like throwing disc thing that attempts to track enemies as they fly, but like this boss is very mobile and flies all around the room, and the tracking sometimes doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
I never really figured out a good solution for that.
I got the first half, but I didn't get the second half. So
I've never come anywhere close to beating the stage in under 2 minutes and 20
Another
seconds.
addition to this game is that actually at the end of the stages, you have to actually collect a star card to trigger the end of the stage. So that is a new mechanic compared to Freedom Planet 1
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree, Pixie Venomous. There's a lot of hub areas in this game that are so pretty, and it makes me wish that I could live there or just visit as a tourist.
Just an attack up potion. This means they do more damage, so they kill boss faster, which is good life.
Yeah, you can carry up to 5 potions, and each
Captain
attack potion
Nunez,
actually gives you a 4%
Welcome, sibling.
more damage.
We're watching the
all
AGDQ
5 are
speedrun
20%,
of
which is
Freedom Planet
actually
2
very
right now.
considerable.
I haven't seen the full thing yet.
Meet some damage thresholds. Well, it's really useful, and it's the first available potion you can buy.
Yeah, Onias and I have the same model artist.
So well, Shielding Park, 2nd level. What are your thoughts about Shielding Park?
Gets through for the train. There's like a cycle on the train there. If you miss it, the train will sort of prevent you from dropping
That's something
down.
that I have fantasized about. Like, what would a Freedom Planet role-playing game look like? How would it play? Like, what would be some of the mechanics?
Yeah, until actually Carol is available to buy the power-up start item, she has to actually run on foot on most of the early game stages.
Gosh, hurt.
And this is one of them.
The speed boost from the kick is so useful.
Unfortunately. So she's actually
especially
very
in
fast on foot too, so
stages that are a bit more complicated layout-wise.
Not really that much of a time loss. Well, in Freedom Planet 1, she was a lot more dependent of the bike than she is now.
Yeah, I remember picking up.
Yeah, in Freedom Planet 1, you wanted to stay on the bike as Carol because it was so much faster than Carol on foot. But the problem with that is that 3 hits and the bike gets destroyed in the first game.
Quote unquote negative
so
effects,
this time around, the bike does not get destroyed with damage.
When combined with a different item we will get later. So.
Yeah, in the case of
Gravestones in particular, I am generally pretty cool about fan games as long as they're not for profit.
Also some reward
That's correct.
About multiplying your gems through the stage. When we mentioned
and as long as like the fan game developer doesn't take credit for like any of the assets
actually,
that were swiped from the games,
and there are cores you can get from defeating enemies, and all of them can be exchanged for more gems. So there is also that bright side from using gravestones. In particular, Nostox is one that makes you start with no lives. Like you can see at the top that Carol has 2 lives left. Well, you start with 0, but there is another item that
I had no idea that
well
Carol would be able to get up there. Oh my gosh.
Third attempt was not worth that, but whatever. I wanted to get it anyway.
You're not even really supposed to get up that way. But
a good rule of thumb for your game, if you're expecting people to speedrun it, is that
doing that section
you should anticipate that eventually they'll be able to get anywhere.
Yep.
And in that case, there are some like really like out of reach places where I made sure to add like proper decorations and stuff. Because like even though it's nearly impossible to get up there normally, I'm sure somebody would try to and maybe succeed.
I cannot believe
that. Prepare for every contingency.
This lock on. At least you didn't get the soft lock. Is that still a thing? Did they patch it?
It's very particular about the direction.
I think it is fixed. Yeah, no need to say the game is still very fresh.
Yeah,
so
that is true.
Some updates,
Sif,
some bug fixing,
but in some respects,
really nice
the speedrunning community knows the ins and outs of this game better than I do.
Hearing a lot of our feedback, so we're really glad about that.
It's very helpful for like bug fixing certain things as well too.
They released a beta patch today, which is actually the patch I'm playing on.
It's kind of a delicate balance in terms of like patching out speedrun exploits.
I did a full run earlier, and it seems good, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Generally, you want to leave them alone if there's something that
if it's fully okay
like casual players would really not encounter unless they were deliberately trying it for them.
Still, everything seems very fine. So this is Phoenix Highway. Actually, there is something important about this section. In the map, probably you saw
I think the only speedrunning exploits that we've patched out are ones where it was very likely that somebody who was playing the game normally would encounter them accidentally.
First way you play the game, this classic mode, simplified version with less cutscenes and hubs and all the things.
I can't believe he's already on Phoenix Highway 7 minutes in.
This game has classic mode is a lot more compact.
Yes, this is classic mode.
Back to the stories. In adventure mode, actually, once you enter a chapter, you have to finish the entire chapter to move on. But in classic mode, actually, you can do all the stages of the section in any order. So that's actually
that's
some
correct.
really cool feature about this.
Classic mode is more
And now
open-ended.
it's
It's
just
not
easier to implement.
because it
That and
it removes the
It was
hubs
easier
and
to
like
do.
the cutscenes and stuff.
So there is
Do
the
we
gem
actually
there.
take advantage of that in this run?
Nice.
Or
So like
glad I got
cutscene
that.
mode was made like classic mode was made specifically with speedrunning in mind.
Linear order in classic.
It matters.
Is that like
Welcome,
part of the
Mothman.
Menuing,
Yeah, that
actually.
streamer.
Yeah,
maybe
Bats,
they added
bats,
it.
bats.
the way the menuing works is you have to back all the way out of an episode to select a different episode. So I think
Yeah,
that
welcome,
wouldn't save any
welcome.
time.
I am Spacey
Yeah, I
Batelli.
think that is the
I'm a
variety
gadgeteer
from
bat
runner.
and a
In my
game
case,
developer.
Actually, I prefer to play
And in fact, I was
all
the
the levels with
producer of
certain
this game that
item
we're
sets, so I
watching
don't
right
have to
now.
be switching
This is
items.
the
So
AGDQ speedrun that took
That's
place a few
what
days
I do.
ago.
I mean, if I do a specific item set for 2 or 3 levels in different chapters, probably it's better going for those. So
Yeah.
more menuing. So well, this is
I haven't watched it yet, so
the train boss. Yes.
I'm very excited to see what they
Actually,
do.
it was intended
Like, for a
mechanic
first-time
that
player,
the drills,
it takes about 10
has in
hours
the
to beat
front
this
actually
game,
were the only way to
and
actually hit.
he's gonna beat it in in less than 2
now we can
hours.
actually do damage with normal attacks. So
Yeah, that
good
got
thing.
changed because that took ages. That was just slow.
Yeah, I mean, not exactly really slow. I think the actual fast strat is actually using them, but
Yeah,
they're
like,
really complicated.
Depending on the stage you
yeah.
play, Carol is
Those are
actually
actually
faster
making
than Lilac this
possible to
time,
hit with
and
normal
Lilac
attacks.
is billed
So
as
now
the
we
speed
have
character.
Southland is another very short level. All this with the kinda.
I love this stage's
park
aesthetic
theme
and its gimmicks.
with a lot of balloons and rails. Actually, this is the first
I had so much fun putting
level
it
with
together.
rails. I know UA actually loves rails so much.
I actually do not mind the rails as much as I used to, but there's definitely it's definitely it feels like the least forgiving part of this run in a couple of stages.
Yeah, and particularly in the late game, there are many levels.
Yeah,
with
this
many
stage,
rails
Southland,
that are actually really complicated.
This is the very
to
first
control
stage
along,
where
but
I
at
worked
least
on the
here,
grind
they're
rail
not very
mechanic.
much. So
Originally,
rails can
the
be
roller
actually
coaster
very
tracks
fast,
didn't
but,
have like
I
the
guess
grind rail
they're
effect,
not really as fast for
but like I felt like they weren't very
that
exciting
was a
on their
really
own.
nice baseball.
That's
So
a
that's
lot
why I
harder
made
to grind it
the player
looks.
grind.
Yes.
Originally, I
Yes,
thought
you have
about
to actually
adding
get
like
the good
an
angle
actual
and
like
time to jump,
roller
and
coaster
it's
carts
a really
to the
precise
tracks,
baseball.
but it was very
The notable
glitchy.
part because
It's all
aiming the
back and
baseball
forth.
itself is a timing thing.
So
instead
the
of a
grind rail
precision
ended
thing.
up being perfect, and we ended up using it in a bunch of different stages.
So now get to the last baseball section. That
Yeah,
baseball
grind rail
slow,
effect
it's
is not
okay.
present in the first gameplay
Now
trailer.
climbing up and finding the
Straight up.
boss. Do you like jump
I love
jump scares?
how
Because this was
Carol is
actually
just popping a
special
wheelie to
for this.
grind on the rail.
Just missed the loop skip. Oh well.
Yeah.
Thank you for head pass. So nice.
I even came up with
Oh,
a sound for
nice.
that, but I still missed it.
This big guy that actually throws baseballs is our enemy now. Has some kind of big hitbox. Good brawler combos are actually effective.
Oh.
And now the boss is dead.
Yeah, bosses with huge hitboxes like
Very
this
quick,
one get
so-
shredded by Carol.
Except not. Now it splits into 3, so you have
Yeah.
to fight
Asteroids boss.
3 of them. So yeah.
Mira has the
it's
best grind
a
animation.
very fun
Honestly, I
moment when
agree.
you play the game for first time.
So when those baseballs
It's
are
so
thrown and they
Nira.
explode, they actually have like friendly fire. Like the boss can hurt
Yes.
themselves. And
All
other
explosives.
bosses
Actually, that was an
actually, I think.
amazing
Have I
fight.
ever heard of Ninja Baseball Man? I can't say
It's
that I
all-
have. It sounds new to me.
That was an amazing boss fight.
Oh my gosh.
That was alright. He said.
Zowland was
It's
faster than
anything
Dragon
else,
Valley.
but
That's nuts.
I'll allow it.
He'll allow it.
So now the Battle Spear. Actually, Battle Spear is while UA is actually buying another potion.
Thank you for the hydration reminder,
Accelerator,
Mothman.
which gives you
I'll take
more
sippy.
speed on flat ground. The Battle Sphere is a segment with different mini levels inside. One of them, there are 4 in the main story. There are more if you actually get the true ending route, but most of them are just races or fights, depending on which segment. The first one, the Beginner's Gauntlet, is just some funny platforming in
Yeah, that's correct.
this section that is like
The Battle Sphere is
very-
not a single big.
I don't know,
It's not like a
crowded
single
place.
stage like the others. It's made up of
So
dozens of
actually
mini
very
challenges.
cool. There you have
and
many routes you can take.
only 4 of them are mandatory to
No,
progress through the
That's
game.
wrong direction.
That was quite
Yeah.
the noise.
Probably could have recovered that, but I genuinely haven't done that in a very long time.
Yeah, good thing actually Carol is like very fast to recover.
My
So-
stones. We have a new record.
And that was the beginning of scan.
If you beat your personal record in a Battlesphere challenge, the announcer says that, and that's where I got my sound alert from.
More than that, so I guess this might be a good time for donations.
Yeah.
Donations. We have a new record.
I just want to quickly say that we actually
have a
reached
new record.
$1,500,000 raised for Prevent Cancer Foundation.
Oh, yeah, this is the moment that
$1,000 donation from Peter
GDQ surpassed $1.5 million raised for charity.
Hot Pepsi
That's
is the
so
drink
cool.
of Weed Cat champions.
Oh, that's right. Food crimes was a thing, wasn't it?
We also have a $10 donation from LLK that says,
Awesome.
I've been following Uranium Anchor's Freedom Planet runs since his first Carol run in Freedom Planet
I think
1.
this is one of my favorite Battlesphere challenges because you just like go absolutely nuts and destroy all the robots with the other main characters.
UA competing this tough as nails bonus stage. Let's get this Freedom Planet 2 incentive met.
That was actually pretty good. That stage
We have a new record
55
of $1.5 million raised for
Right, now you get
charity.
to beat your friends up. This was very fun.
Bigger on
Lilac in
GBase, I
particular.
think.
Yeah, and the one after this,
the
only
enemy
one
actor-
person can go on to face Captain Kalau in the
Yeah,
finals,
this level
so
is completely
you gotta
random.
fight your friends.
So this either takes 20 seconds or 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes. Or 11 seconds actually I got the other day. That was incredible. I don't know how I did that. Yeah, I got 11 seconds with Nero.
This segment convinced
Okay.
you I was obsessed with Smash Bros. You would be correct. You can also kind of tell
honestly,
from
like,
Nero's
this is a
moveset
reset
how
point for
each
me.
of her
I'll be happy
abilities
if I
are
don't
based on the
die.
direction you're holding when you press the
I
button.
find this stage very easy to die on. It's liberating watching you struggle with this as well, because even during I was like, it's really easy to die on this level, but it's really short, so we kind of just...
Canonically, who wins
Mila
this
is
fight?
actually super
I'm not
tough.
sure, actually. It's pretty open-ended.
There's an optional
I'm
I think
sorry,
it'd be
Super
fun to
Dad.
play
This
with
is
it
also
if there was like a
dojo
cartoon
elsewhere in the
series
game,
or a comic.
where you fight these
where
characters one-on-one.
One of them would win, but then lose Kalau's challenge, and then the runner-up would end up facing him and win.
Mila is usually not the sticking point on that stage. Good God.
She's got the least health. Usually she gets killed by one of the others.
This is the last arena challenge for now.
Yeah,
It's
like I
a
think
5-lap
like
race
if there was a
with
comic,
the
Lilac
owner
or
of the
Nira would
not the
win
owner.
first,
The
but then
champion of
lose
the
to
battle,
Kalau,
yes.
and then Carol would have been
Captain Kalau,
second place.
actually the
So
champion of the Battlesphere,
she would end up facing him afterwards and
he's
win.
challenging you to a race
Yeah.
in this case, but actually
I love a
there's
good
no point
anime
was
tournament
having,
arc.
different
Especially
kind of
when,
challenges.
Especially
I mean,
when they
hopefully,
see
unfortunately,
the tournament to the
they
end
decided the
instead of
race
having
was
it interrupted
actually,
for plot
5 laps
reasons.
on-
That kind of annoys
on
me.
the circuit, but actually
I just like a good
we might
tournament
say
where
that
heroes
there
fight
are
each other for fun.
4 laps, right?
4 laps and then just this. Actually,
that works.
I love this. I love this. So yeah, that was the
Wow.
Battlesphere.
Yep.
QA really missed that one.
Yeah, but yeah, how did that happen?
This is the only run where
Yeah.
you're allowed to make that joke.
There's a
This is
glitch
me.
with the Kalau race
My
where
God.
when you cross the finish line and go
Battlesphere
into
is around
lap
the
3,
center of
or
many
wait, the final lap,
interesting places for
lap 5,
the runners,
you can just walk
specifically
backwards
because you
and then
have,
walk across the finish line
possibility of
again.
Actually,
And then
fighting
win.
every boss.
I have no idea how to fix
fight
it.
on the game. Every boss you already defeated in the main story, then you can refight again.
Yeah,
But-
that's a
so it's
downside to
really
classic
good
mode. We
practice.
don't see
So now we're
Carol's
getting
like
the middle route.
super
that is
surprised
against Seal.
face.
That's why our takedown used to be a lot
That's so
harder
funny,
because
yeah.
a patch changed it. You used to have to mash for Carol's standing attack, the standard claw thing. And now you can just hold the button and she'll do it automatically.
Yeah, what he
Yeah,
just
that's
talked
the thing
about
that
is
used to be
that
so much
when
harder
the game
because you
first
had to
came out,
actually hit the
you
button at the
had
right
to
time so that
rapidly
those
press the
little
attack
pops
button
on
in
the web.
order to
Yeah.
use
yeah,
Carol's
that in
slashes
particular.
as
Yeah,
efficiently
so
as possible.
That's a good point, yeah, actually. They
And we got some
added
reports
autofire to
from
Carol's
players that it was
attacks
hurting their
recently, in a lot of
hands,
places where it
and
really
we were
helps.
definitely concerned about
It
that.
also
So
messes with my muscle memory
we
in
changed
some
it so
cases,
that all you have to do is
actually,
hold the
I did
button,
the
and she will
majority of my runs
slash
before
as
that
quickly
patch
as she
happened,
can.
So you might see me do some silly things sometimes.
That's fine.
That jump
Actually,
is a lot more difficult than it looks. Coming
was one
high
of
speed off that
the-
stairs. Too early or too late, you could jump at the wrong angle because you're on a slope.
So, well, this the spiders, you beat all the hitboxes there, and the spider just falls. You can also fight the
Yeah,
spider,
the vaporwave
but depending
section
on
of the museum.
conditions, you might actually prefer to just...
I imagine
keep
this
yours
as like a
there.
virtual reality
Eaten
section.
by box.
Yeah.
He got caught in the box. Carol got boxed.
Punchy had a funny name for that in particular that I'm not going to repeat here.
The first game had these appearing and disappearing boxes, and if you're standing inside them, you could glitch into walls, and well, you know, glitching into walls is bad. So now if you're standing inside them, that happens.
Yeah, they eat you.
Oh,
Hey, this is
Your girlfriend called this the Sega Genesis box art dimension. Yeah, I can see that.
It's also kind of dangerous because...
Yeah, so Element Burst is like an item he's got equipped that adds like a poison effect to his attacks. This boss, for some reason, repeats their transition to the last phase over and over again when they're poisoned.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
until the poison is
know.
actually out.
If you
Nice.
time it right, you can avoid that, or you can just not equip Element Burst, but it's not worth the menu in time, so I was hoping I could get it timed right, but I didn't quite get
Yeah,
it.
in my case, actually, what I do is just create a new set with all the element burst, but, well, it might be more or less convenient depending on the situation. I run another character.
One of the
just in
things you
case.
love about this game's movement is
Yeah,
that there's
it's-
very little
it-
context
I-
sensitivity.
It takes about
You can
5 seconds to,
chain
like,
whatever
set up
moves
an
you
item
want
set
whenever you
and
want. Yeah,
swap it
I
around,
agree.
so I think
That's one of my
it
favorite
loses
things.
about 10 seconds
You can be very
to
creative
get
with
that,
combo
so
attacks in
I
this
feel
game.
like messing with the item sets
The only
twice
real
is
limitation to
basically a
them
wash.
is
Yeah,
like
it depends on
the amount of time that you're overlapping your
That
target.
happens when element burst is actually what is taking the phase, and
Because
depends
you
on
can
how
pretty much have a
left
constant attack
of the
hitbox
effect
if you're good with your
has on the
combos.
boss.
You
So,
just have
now
to make
we are
sure
in
that you're
version
overlapping the
Chihuahua.
enemy that you're attacking
Actually, a very high
as long as
level.
possible in order to inflict
Gonna
the most
not tell
damage.
right now why, but you're gonna figure out later. This is a level that is in airship. Reminds me a lot of
Meow.
Sky Battalion in Freedom Planet 1. Very cool aesthetics overall. And you have these blocks that have a funny mechanic that you just...
Why is my
hit
model so
them,
good?
and
Because
when they
my
turn the wall,
model artist
you open it. And
is
for Carol,
absolutely
they're actually
amazing.
incredibly fast
Akihika
by
did
just,
such a wonderful
using
job
the
drawing my
down kick,
model.
the low kick, the
And
one
of course,
that is,
KVX art did
giving
my
first
rigging.
speed, because as more speed you have,
He's very well
higher
known
the
for
throw.
having bouncy and expressive
The
live 2D rigs.
that you impart on a block like that depends
I hope
on
that
the
helps.
player speed. I think.
Yes.
I obviously didn't program the game.
Yes,
Bungie's job.
that's why the jump kick like imparts a huge amount of momentum on them, because the jump kick speeds you up like,
Yeah.
very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So
has
this
nothing
one,
to do with
the-
the power of the attack. It's purely based on your
Yeah,
horizontal
bouncy
speed when you
hair.
hit the thing, but the
Yes.
low kick gives you max
It's
speed.
kind of a quirk that it goes that far because it's the initial impulse that gets carried.
It's gotta be as bouncy as possible. I think the bounce looks like especially amazing, like not just with my hair, but with my wings. I love
we
just
also
the way
just
that they
saw
bounce and
a
flap.
mid-boss there.
I can
Yeah,
actually
the
like.
Lancer.
It actually
You
looks like I'm
only,
flying.
take down 2 phases of Lancer that has 6 phases. Actually, for reasons, 6 phases is only
Corazon
for Carol.
is,
for your characters,
Spanish for
Lancer only has
heart.
4.
So that's why we named
so
her
you can
Corazon.
change
They have
to
to
now.
fight an additional boss at the end of the stage.
And yes, you
Carol
have
skips the
a...
boss because plot.
Yes, because plot, exactly. So you take the first 2 phases and you have to finish the fight afterwards. So now we are actually reaching the second encounter with Lancer. So 4 more phases, that's gonna be Rogue.
Nice, got both in one kick. Right, I find this very difficult.
I'll be back in a bit. I gotta get some tissues.
It is.
And
I have no idea how this works. It's black magic.
you're supposed to fight the boss. I was saying I found the boss difficult. I forgot that from him. You don't actually do it in the run.
And just
No, we
straight
just go up.
clean, direct to the win.
Once I
Big
actually
game
got
there.
in it, I got it first try, so I'll take it.
Definitely. Nice job there. So actually what happens there is that
Fair
Carol
enough.
uses the disc toss movement to get height, and then she lingers on the springs while using the up kick movement that gives upwards momentum, and tries to just hold on until midair is back so can throw the disc again. And well, it requires a lot of rhythm, so it's actually a very complicated strat to execute. So yeah, very well done.
Very nice.
Yeah, I was genuinely worried about that, so I will take that.
You made it look easy. I
I'm
struggle
back.
with that one.
And I'm a
Yeah,
back.
actually I did find it. Carol Run is probably hated me a bit first, but it's not that bad. You get used to it.
I struggle with it
it's
especially
complicated.
because it's not something I thought about before the game came out.
I'm really happy with the way this stage turned out.
Well, actually, all the
Especially-
characters skip Lancer.
I think just like the
different
whole
ways,
like
but
waterfall
yeah,
layer
all of them
gimmick,
do.
like with the
I
waterfall
don't remember
doors,
who
just
discovered
like
the carols.
it works so well with everything.
One of you happens to remember. I want to make sure they get
And
credit
it's just
for
a
that.
nice cozy atmosphere.
Yeah. I actually did find it, and then Penso actually applied it like super quick.
Yeah, there was no
Getting
boss in
a little,
Airship
super
Seguada
low.
for
It takes a
Carol
lot of time.
because
Actually,
her
fighting
sister
Lancer
refuses
takes a
to
lot of
fight
time
her,
there.
and her sister's the
Oh,
boss.
that's like
It's a really big skip.
Oh yeah, the gimmick of this level is that you're constantly swapping in and out between the foreground, and I should take the time to explain that. So like when you're in the background in the shadows, you pass through certain things like these giant spike columns.
Yeah.
But, this means the level is on something of a cycle. Ouch.
Any coincidence with mechanics of other
Way
games
too
is just
early.
a coincidence. It's
That was
really
stupid.
smooth. I really love it. Actually, I love it in particular this part when I play it casually. Then in the speedrun,
hello, Billy.
I actually
Welcome.
had my
Thank you for
moments with this
following. I
stage,
appreciate it.
But now I am pissed, except for the boss, of course. But I got
Nobody
some
likes
funny cycles.
Rosebud. Nobody
They're on
likes Rosebud.
cycles and they're on local cycles as well. Like when they come into camera view, so there's not like there's
Were
a
the
limit
tiles
to
always
how
meant to
fast
be
you can
here,
usually do
or
without
are these good
bypassing the
reuse
section
of the old
entirely.
Dragon Valley tiles? Yeah, the rock
Better look
textures
recycled
used
than
to
a
be
global one,
brighter and used
Yeah.
in Dragon Valley, but I felt like it didn't.
So, well, now
resemble
there's
the
this boss,
first game's
that
Dragon
is
Valley
a
enough.
Very particular boss.
So I instead used
you have
the
to
old Dragon
fight
Valley
by
tiles
switching
for the
layers,
stage, and I
you can
recolored
see.
them to match a
So
little better.
This boss has a lot of orbs you have to destroy and then hit the head 3 times. But the way this boss actually waves and moves is really awkward, so it makes it really
yeah.
fun to get this fight.
I'm messing that
Movement.
up.
seems to be alright. Is it Punchy? You to know. Is it based on player position or is it just pure RNG?
You're right, I should know. I regret to inform you I don't.
Okay.
I have absolutely
I
no
believe
idea
it
why.
totally-
I have
believe it.
absolutely,
And the boss
absolutely
decides
no
which
idea
attack.
why it does what
There's
it
a
does.
funny ending to this fight. Oh,
The boss also decides which attack it's going to use based on
What?
if
Whoa,
It was a very
Wait,
good
wait,
Rosebud, by the way. Also, what happened?
What?
What happened to the head there? It's the
don't
first time I see that
how?
happening.
How?
That's
How?
never
Why?
happened before.
What?
You just okay.
Launched its head into
Oh my
orbit. That's never
gosh.
happened before.
I have seen
I mean,
it
I know
before
why.
opening before, but
The-
never have seen
The
that.
head enables
Nice
physics
shot.
when
There's
you
that moment.
when you destroy the boss, and it must have been inside the wall when he destroyed
Okay, for
it.
those actually having some nostalgia from Freedom Planet 1, this is actually a section they actually will love, because Road Graveyard is very similar to a level there that is Battle Glacier, but also with a lot of remnants of Brevon's army. That was the final boss of the antagonist of the first game. So, on the music, it's actually a remake of the Brevon song, so... Rock
Yeah.
Graveyard is a really nice level, in particular for people
Yeah,
that
he's
played
right.
the first game. But about mechanics in particular,
Yeah,
it's
Robot
a
Graveyard
cool one. And
is,
Final
uh,
Boss
has-
very
is
similar.
Little
something of a
Corner,
fan
climbing
favorite,
up the wall.
it would seem,
I love
among our
that
players,
This little section.
because of all the throwbacks it has to the
shippable.
first game. The first game's
Every character
villain.
can do that, but you have to also climb the next wall. So
Yeah, Carol is the only one who can just like jump straight up the wall.
Oh, I haven't seen that route. That actually doesn't look bad.
I
Such
assume
inspired use
Nero
of the
could
original
probably do
leitmotif.
something with
Yeah,
it, but,
yeah.
I don't know.
Woofle nailed it for the melody in the,
Have
in
you-
the
I
stage.
might love
Play Nero.
it. I might love it, yeah. I love actually loving
Getting
things,
ideas,
there's
getting
the loop
ideas for
clip
the
here,
other
right?
characters.
No.
I'm not going to be doing any of the OOB clips.
Oh,
Okay.
the layer clip there in particular is really tricky without the bike. With the bike, it's kinda not hard to get. So just to put some context, layer clipping is some glitch of the game that you can
Stage is
actually
probably
like,
your favorite in the
get
game.
another
Yeah,
layer of
good
the game and
choice.
ignore entirely the collections of the main
You
layers.
know,
So you travel.
I'm
through the
genuinely
stage, basically.
surprised, like
But you
pleasantly
have to-
surprised,
you're falling,
that everyone's tier
well, you
lists
have to
for their
actually
favorite
find land
stages
points or try
is so
to
different.
reach checkpoints. and
Like some
restart
people,
or different
like
things with that.
like
It's not
Ancestral
like
Forge, for
just,
example, it's like a very like
first-person
Metroidvania
control.
style stage,
Yeah,
and
there's one there
depending
that
on
is
who you
kinda
ask,
easy
it's either the
to
best
clear,
stage in the
but
game,
if you don't have a nowhere
the
to
worst,
speed,
or somewhere in
way
between.
to preserve your air momentum, it might be actually very dangerous.
Yeah, I personally really like
So now this
Ancestral
is
Forge.
Montague, the boss with a lot of HP, but UA did an amazing
I'm very proud
job
of it,
actually fighting.
especially since it was like a collaborative
that worked really
effort.
well. That boss
between
can
multiple
take
level
quite a bit of time
designers.
if you let get into its more aggravating phases.
Yeah, I missed a couple disc throws, but I still got the worst
Oh
of
yes,
it, so.
Shade Armory is also a fan favorite.
So
Like a lot of people
audio guys
who like
crank
listen to the
music.
soundtrack feel like this is their favorite track.
Go ahead. I was about to say.
I believe it has the
Actually,
highest view
for
count
those who like
on
nostalgia from Freedom
the
Planet
Galaxy
1,
Trail
this is another
YouTube
one,
channel
because it's really similar looking to
for all of the
Base,
Freedom Planet 2
except for, well,
musics.
The color, the main color palette of the level, but the music is also a remix.
Love
of
running
Freedom
Tidal
Planet
Gate
song,
personally,
which is one of
such a
my
pleasant
favorites
level
there,
with great
so
music.
Yeah, I really
I
love
love
this one so far.
Tidal Gate too. That was made mostly by Arietti, like level design
This
wise.
is easily my favorite song.
She did an amazing job, like capturing the cozy atmosphere of the level.
Also, the theme, plot-wise, is also really bringing back memories.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I really like this stage's music too.
Characters related with Revan's army.
The
Wolfel and I just rocked out on it.
I don't know what they're actually officially
Yeah,
called.
the troopers actually are from Freedom Planet 1 as well.
They aren't as dangerous in this game, though. They only get knocked down once, and I think they don't shoot as often. And some of them use swords instead of guns, so...
Yeah. Yeah, in Freedom Planet 1 they didn't have swords. This is the thing now. Oh, that is a scout, by the way. That is another character. Now he's helping us to investigate the area, very much. So, well,
yeah, I love
a lot of
Lunar
back and
Cannon.
forth, actually, solving
That's
the
another
puzzles and,
personal favorite of mine in
opening
terms
new
of stages.
sections and finding the switches for them. So it's a lot of back and forth now. So maybe it's another good time for donations.
For sure.
And yeah,
Awesome.
I just very much am proud of the variety in the stages.
Another $10 if someone makes a really funny.
I think it might have been like a
FP joke
consequence,
or fun if
a bit of a
something
consequence
turns
of the game's long development cycle.
Also-
This game took us 7 years to make, and
FP.
it's such a
yeah,
big
okay.
game.
Sorry, I thought you did FB.
So
Oh, yeah, sorry.
throughout
We also have a
development, we
$25
kind of had
donation
different
from
like
Ray Parker
inspirations,
Jr. that
like level
says,
design wise.
Let me tell you something. Sleeping makes me feel good. I ain't afraid of no sleep.
Sleeping
I
makes
ain't
me
afraid of
feel
no bed,
good.
but I am afraid to miss the Freedom Planet 2 run. Best of luck, bustin' your record, UA.
Yeah, I like that meme.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, we also have a $10 donation from Traylina that says, Carol and Nira, speedrunner here. My messed up body clock is a monkey's paw. I always wanted to submit for a GDQ, but my internet is too poor and don't have enough money to travel to the States. Learning Carol is no longer a miserable pile of broken bikes.
Nothing has beat Fortunite 2 for you, but you really like the
Somebody wants
Bacchanal
to
level
explain
with the
just how
portal
much
abuse.
better the
Oh,
bike
that's
is in
in
this
version
game than the
Dynamo.
first one?
Yeah,
In the first game, you...
in version Dynamo
first
is
off, instead
like
of
my
just
goal
getting
with it
off the
was
bike
to
by
make
throwing
it
the
like
disc,
absolutely
which is
bonkers.
what you do in this game. You can get back on it by throwing the disc.
And it took three of us on the level design team to
in the
realize
fir- in
that
the previous
vision,
game, first
and I
off,
think we
the
succeeded
bike
with
wasn't-
flying colors.
You were either on the bike or you left it behind.
Yeah, you have
And
to bounce on it
also-
and then mount it again. Yeah.
And then also, if you took 3 hits on
Thermal
the bike,
base is
it
another
broke,
good choice for a favorite
and you were
level.
stuck without it.
I like that one a lot
So
too.
playing Carol was extremely punishing.
Yeah.
I think
You
personally,
have to be
for
very
the original
careful.
Freedom
The thing
Planet,
that actually,
Fortunite
like,
is my
kids
favorite
were
stage.
regretting every time to cross the new screen, but
It just like
still
perfectly
really complicated in
encapsulates
some
everything
particular
about the
spots.
game.
And that was
Yeah,
a really nice boss, by the way.
I
Fire
hate that
syntax is
boss.
really
It's
tricky.
got such
More than
good
anybody
variety,
else.
lots of
Rose
little
Bud
like
close
gimmicks and
second.
Easter eggs, and
Yeah, you're
the boss
actually
is
doing a nice
absolutely
job of bosses
awesome
so far.
with all three protagonists like
the problem
helping
with
each
this
other.
one is that it has 3 phases, but in the first and the third in particular, the hitboxes are very small. So it
We've
requires
got
some
another
precision.
boss to talk about right now, so...
Yes. Speaking of
yeah, this-
nostalgia and all characters from Freedom Planet 1, this is the General Serpentine that is guarding the place, waiting for Lord Prevon to actually come back. So very similar movements to Freedom Planet 1 actually. It's also a boss there, and
This
the
is
pattern is
where
more
you
or less
really
the same.
start seeing the explosion self-damage
Yeah.
take place.
Yeah, if you stand right in
Yeah,
front of
that-
him
that
as
was
he's firing the
similar.
missile and it
You're
blows
standing
up
right in front
in
of
both
him,
your
so they
faces,
explode
he'll
his
take a
face
lot of
too.
damage.
Yeah, it's actually important not to cross like a full health petal boundary while he's readying a rocket, because there's like mid-phase invulnerability for the bosses as well, and if the explosion goes off... while
One of
he's
your
in the
favorite
rocket,
things
he
in
doesn't
both
get
games
that
is how
But
Mila
if the explosion
completely
goes
dunks
off
on
when
Serpentine.
They
Yeah,
have a sliver of health left in the face. That
it's kind
explosion
of
will
funny
still
how
deal
that worked
deal
out, where her
damage,
moveset just
damage
like
to next phase
completely
instead.
nullifies
Also,
Serpentine's
third boss.
attacks.
Yeah.
Second
And
phase.
if you play the game,
If you like jump
it makes
scares,
narrative sense as well.
I'm not preparing you for anything. This phase actually has a lot of invulnerability moments there is this ball that actually this fireball deals a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing when fighting this particular boss's Mila, is defeating him without ever moving from my starting position.
And
I just hold my shield up and look at him.
Except that he's not dead. Actually, a lot of people actually died casually in that last breath. I know it feels. I didn't because I have health.
So this boss fight, actually, I had accidentally placed the star card that finishes the stage. I placed it too close to the top of the level, and speedrunners were able to completely skip the boss that way.
So now there are new items.
And I felt really bad about that, so I had to change it.
Those being
there were mixed feelings about me moving the card, but it just felt like a very critical mistake.
Boosts your attack power by a full 20% if you have no stocks.
Your model kind of screams Freedom Planet. I guess that's intentional. Yes, that's correct, Jimmy.
Because that gives us 0 stocks to start with.
Welcome.
We don't have to go dying.
Yes, basically just start with that.
Yeah,
so
Freedom Planet 2's main character designer, Tyson Tan, he gave me some valuable advice when I was working on the concept art for this model. And then I passed it along to my art mama, and the rest is history.
That name bar trolled you.
Yeah.
Also, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
I'm
sorry I didn't catch your name in time, but thank you so much.
Swear on that.
Should note the necessity of no socks would make
turn down the volume of the stream. Okay, I can do it a little bit more.
Very, very intimidating.
How about now?
But
Is that good?
you can also buy continues for
Welcome, model. Thank you, Joestar.
in this game. Yeah. And easy modes that's set.
Nearly cried at the Skyline Island level.
Next to nothing, so we don't have to worry about that.
That would be Skybridge.
Yeah, but actually, what I was.
But yeah, I love the background in that stage. That was drawn by Tyson Tan as well. Like the island part.
Having more left, unless you have anything.
It's gorgeous. He actually wanted to draw a close-up of the entire island like that, and I was like, oh, and please don't strain yourself. We only just need like a specific like corner of it.
Actually, go back from the last checkpoint.
Yeah, Tyson Tan's amazing. Apparently, he's working on like a comic or like a story of some kind called Electric Hearts, and I'm really looking forward to that whenever it comes.
Spam up kicks, which
there's a very generous amount of pick stuff.
But also,
wow! I didn't know this was possible.
Vulnerability frames for that period of time. So
I guess there's something weird about Carol's kick.
For heavy damage, but in situations like this where the boss otherwise isn't vulnerable for much time, a long period of time, it's really our only option.
Yeah, this isn't.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this boss is actually really complicated.
Are the bubbles bugged? What bubbles?
Time goes, from the
like
water,
in the game?
So it's actually really complicated to calculate. I read some people in chat actually talking about the song of Glow Opera 1. Yeah, it's...
I agree, Alfie Faye. There's no feeling quite as good as an artist getting passionate when working on your game.
Yeah, by the way, this stage in particular, there's still some questions about whether or not it's better to bring the power start or payback ring into this. Payback ring makes the phase skip on the boss much more reliable, but the bike makes the stage faster, so it's kind of
I think bringing power-up start is a good move here because of how long the stage is.
That this stage has a 6-rep split at the end, and you have to pick 4 of them.
Yeah, there's a big door later in the stage, and in order to clear it, you have to clear 4 of 6 mini challenges.
There we go.
So I'm curious to see which mini challenges that he picks.
Game, so the routes aren't like etched in stone tablets yet.
Was Tyson Tan the lead artist for Freedom Planet 2? He was the lead character and boss designer.
I didn't show off.
And he also did a lot of the base sprite work.
That is a really fun thread.
Especially for the bosses and the NPCs.
Slingshots, and then you immediately synchronize with the others.
And then like he sent us like the base sprites, and then we added animation and shading to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's a good.
Thank you for head pats.
What happens there is you jump above that mirror that you're supposed to insert from below. So you just ride across
Okay, so he's picking
the bottom mirror.
Picking the Avian Museum challenge first.
That's why that happened. You shouldn't tell me these things.
Oops.
Yeah, actually, that is really cool.
Oh, thank you for hydrate. I'll take sippy.
And also this returning to checkpoint is actually faster here. Every time you just
oh yeah,
plug,
this trick. Once you activate the power plug at the end of a mini challenge, you can. It's actually faster to pause and restart at the checkpoint than it is to go through the exit door.
Yeah, it's faster both in.
It says volunteered by Tyson Tan because he refused payment for his work. No matter how many times I asked him.
The file timer at the end is not.
So I'm extremely grateful for that.
Yeah, it's even faster for the AL timer, but it's also faster for file timer.
Yeah, I am personally responsible for that particular division because there are a lot of strategies.
The model looks great, but it just irks you how the initial model looks more mature. Honestly, it did for me too. Like,
I don't like that. So
as much as I like being a glam goth, it's really not. It doesn't really match my personality as much as my new racing theme does.
Became obnoxious at some point, so yeah.
There are various opinions. There are various philosophies about this, but
as
I'm
much
the one who
as
worked on the game, so
as much as I love Halloween and like gothic stuff,
yeah, because actually
I figured I'd just like switch it up.
Timers at the end, the file timer
Go for something more bright and cheerful to match my outlook on life.
So the reason we use file timer is because the stage
yeah, like people are very surprised by that, and I am honestly.
So
like,
you kind of are stuck between a rock and a hard place there.
I've known Tyson Tan for a long time now, many years, and even though I've known him for that long and I've been talking to him for that long, I still struggle to understand what exactly I did to deserve such generosity from him.
You have to hit guard right as the laser.
Like, he really believed in this game. So I will be forever grateful that he made all of this so much better.
With all the teleporters, finally the boss, Beast 2. Beast 2 is just, it's a boss that flies, rushes, and you can actually damage.
Yeah, he used to do a lot of art commissions as well, also for free.
It's actually landing here,
but
for some reason,
right now he is focusing on other things. So I'm not sure when he's going to start that up again.
He still has iframes from the previous phase.
Like, he's very like passionate about open source projects, and I think that kind of ties into everything.
So
this one's invincible, but
like,
two aren't.
He made the official mascot for Krita, which is like a Photoshop like drawing program that is completely free and open source. And he does art, like official artwork for Krita of their mascot. And he's also done like official translation work for them too. So I highly recommend Krita Paint.
So now
like, especially if you're not really like if you're not really enthusiastic about like what Adobe has been doing recently with their like forced monthly subscriptions. Krita Paint does not do that. It's completely free and open source. So I highly recommend it.
The phase skip, I was kind of inconsistent with in practice earlier, so let's see.
Yeah, Krita's mascot is her name is Kiki the Cyber Squirrel.
This boss just kind of jumps back and forth, and it's
this stage.
Just attacking the boss whenever you have the opportunity.
Yeah, it is a fixed
pattern, this boss is quite tough.
Good thing is that it's very predictable, and you can actually build a strat.
Normally, for a speedrunner, it's a piece of cake.
There you go. That is the first
one.
Like
the different item combinations you can have in this game.
These past bosses have been very similar to one another.
Ends up working out very well for speedrunners because you can switch your item loadout depending on if it's like a regular stage that you have to travel through or just a stage with only boss fights.
That is this robot.
Oh, yep, plot twist. That was not the actual main boss of this stage.
Giant rabbit, just because the artist
it's a giant rabbit,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, this boss design just screams Tyson Tan style.
So this is going really well so far.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying the art for this.
Oh,
that sucks.
That miss there. There was one health in that bar.
Yeah, maybe I'm not gonna get it.
Maybe cycle skip.
I'm not gonna get it.
So sad. Okay. So
this is fun.
Yeah, Tyson is like
supposed to do damage.
His art is like most of his art is like a very unique combination of like mecha and like fairy characters.
Yeah, the holograms, like, they look like they do damage. They're meant to. It slipped the net, alright?
Even
Oh,
now,
yeah. That's another interesting fact. Like the hologram attack when he lifts the floor up.
which is really weird.
When the BFF 2000 lifts the floor up.
really.
The holograms don't do damage, even though it looks like they should. But people
that's
still
news to me.
instinctively dodge them.
So we have one of my favorite levels, but for the wrong reasons. We have Palace Persia, that is a level you have to traverse while coming back to the Royal Palace of Shang-Tu. Plot-wise,
Oh, wait, they do damage in the Battlesphere?
You're wasting your time doing the other characters.
Okay, that's weird.
Invasion.
Well, yeah.
But if I had to pick
basically,
one, I would
Murga,
want them to
the
do
antagonist
damage.
was actually taking the palace, so, well, you have to hurry
Yeah.
and kick her out.
The strat
but
for this
you
stage,
won't
Palace
be
Courtyard,
able
this
to
is
do
where,
that,
like,
so-
the main villain's forces attack to the home base. And the main villain, of course, is Murga.
But when
So you fight her at the end, and the speedrun strat is to enter the arena with no life remaining so that she kills you in one hit, because you're supposed to lose the fight.
It's an item that literally you die at every hit. So for that you have to route actually a couple hits, trying
bro.
to minimize the time loss.
King Baron
and
is
then
another
save
one
a
of
lot
my
time by-
model siblings.
This boss is really hard to one
My day's going well.
Yeah.
We're just chilling. We're watching the AGDQ speedrun of Freedom Planet 2, because I haven't seen it, the whole thing yet.
I mean, this
Yeah.
is
Thank you for head pats, Angel.
Yeah.
So nice.
Okay, all right.
Okay, you're
Are you fine?
Just actually this warping.
Thank you, Noah
flames,
Chasm, for the follow. I
that was
appreciate
dangerous,
it.
actually.
It really
Thank you
was.
for head pets.
The only reason I did that is because I knew he.
Oh, okay.
he
Yeah,
was gonna
that
die.
carries
It was the only,
the thing.
the only weak spot left.
There is actually a pretty hilarious speedrun strat you can do here where you'll die by that, see?
here we are.
But your corpse
Actually,
slides
before
into the
that,
boss
I
arena.
I mean, just keep the.
And
boss
as
is
soon as the
supposed to be
cutscene
one of those
ends, it
boss
detects
fights
that you're already
that you're not
dead,
supposed
so
to win.
it ends the
Yeah,
stage
so
right there.
normally what happens is you go into that boss fight.
I
you
was
burn all your
absolutely
lives in
floored
the
when I
boss
saw that
fight,
the first time.
and
Oh
then
my
the
gosh,
stage
it's hilarious.
But if you have nothing going into the boss fight, the stage just ends there.
Yeah,
you
apparently
can,
it's
you
even
can launch
faster.
your corpse.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
can launch
fling
your
your
corpse into the
corpse.
boss fight.
Yeah,
at the same
Murga
time.
skip is
And this a
probably
pretty
my
relaxed
favorite
stage, this
skip in the
video
game.
animations.
Also very fun, very fast.
Perfect. I do want to mention that we are still about $2,000 away from our incentive that we do need to meet before the end of this run. So let's keep those donations rolling in so we can meet that for sure. You're
Yeah.
definitely going to want to see it. We have a $10 donation from a
Yeah, like after the
chocolate
craziness
orange
of the
that says,
auditorium
"Hey, UA, it's
stages
been
and
great
that
working with
string
you
of
in the studio
bosses
this
and
week,
like
it's
the
been great
palace
watching your
invasion,
run here too." In
we
fact,
figured we'd
I
give
think
players
I'd love to watch more of it.
a
Maybe
breather.
a secret
With this kind of
if you
stage,
have
it's
one.
very like warm and
Also,
serene,
shout
and
out to my good friend Revo on
it helps you calm
comms.
down after that craziness.
No, that guy.
Yeah, so I've been running audio tech shifts in the studio all week, and Chocolate Orange has been the producer I've been working with. This was originally my shift, but there's
Oh, that's a good headcanon, TZ.
So shout outs to Mark for swapping with me.
Yeah, maybe
I really
the
appreciate being able to run
holograms
the
in the
finale.
auditorium are unfinished, and then I'll
So,
fix them for the Battlesphere.
We have a $300 donation from Jeff that reads, Ben, these past
Oh my gosh,
6
you
years
got
have
hit by the
made-
car
or, sorry,
in
have
the
made proud
palace
to call
courtyard.
you my friend. You're putting in incredible work both in speedrunning and behind the scenes at GDQ. It's a shame that we couldn't do
Yeah,
a
that's
group meetup
the
this year for
that
AGDQ,
car is
but there's
the only
always
place in the
next
game where that
time.
enemy appears.
Best of luck on the run, and much love from all your guild friends in Grass Guild.
That's Guild Friends Guild.
Best character?
And we also have a $50
Well, in
donation
terms
from
of the
Mike that
playable
says,
cast,
"It
I
has
have a
been
soft
trip
spot for
watching you
Nira
grind this out on your stream
because,
to now seeing you present this on
I
the big
am her
stage.
creator,
We're proud of
unlike
you,
the
Ben,
original
and all
three.
the work you do for GDQ and the speedrunning community. Let's see this
So, I
incentive
have a
get
soft spot
met
for Nira.
from your buddy.
She's my
Smooth
girl.
Mike. We
But
also have a $15
there are just
donation from
too many
TR
supporting
Bucket that
characters
says, "Yo,
to love
Freedom
for me to
Planet
pick a
2
favorite.
Speedrun at this hour.
I like Murga,
Awesome.
I like
Best of luck.
Zhao, I like Kingdale this
So
time
fun fact I just
around.
want to mention before we keep going, your speed and your movement speed affects your attack speed. So I'm able to just, it
Oh,
makes
yeah.
this boss a lot of fun.
Since this is a chase boss where you're constantly running on the water and your speed
that-
influences your
that-
attack
that
speed.
was
Weird.
That is actually a classic. I always miss that part, Carl. You go so fast and you always just pass through
Oh,
it.
right, my mistake.
Yeah,
Murga's
that's
not
always been
a supporting
mechanic as
character.
early as
She's
the
the main
first game, where
character.
The faster you're moving,
The main
faster
villain.
attacks come out, so
Here
you
we
are
get
incentivized
collectible.
to be moving quickly.
We will get no more collectibles for the rest of this run.
And I also really like the otter that wears the shark costume in Adventure
Gets
Square.
you the true ending. If
Judy,
you do the
I believe her
the
name
arena
is.
Challenges, but again, we're not doing this.
Yeah,
so
Judy.
That's the only one we're seeing.
Yeah, we're going to be skipping
Judy
those. To
is
be
so
honest, I have
good.
done those arena challenges exactly one time.
She
to unlock
works at the
final
museum
stage
and
on
they
the secret
force her
stage on
to
my
shout
main save,
propaganda at
on
the
my
tourists
main
all
adventure
day.
save. So, yeah,
And she handles it like a champ.
It's gonna be a box of surprises.
And like at the end of the game, she's finally had enough of her job and like quits on the spot.
It's good content, but it takes like 25 minutes.
Very good content. That is the
Can you get true ending in classic mode? You can, yes. You just need to make sure to go back to the battle sphere and play all the challenges. I believe all the necessary challenges are unlocked just before Gravity Bubble.
Moving on to the boss, scattered around the area. It's a bit of a. I hesitate to say open world, but it sort of gives off that vibe a little bit. So
Yeah,
it's
Judy's the only employee at that museum.
It's not linear. You can complete them in any order you like, and they kind of will loop around in a circle.
Thank you,
The
Roxas,
first
for the
time I
follow.
did this stage,
I appreciate it.
I just blew past this first one. and
Welcome,
spent
I am Spacey
15
Bottle
minutes
Telly.
looking for it.
I am a gadgeteer
you're not
and
the
a
only
game
person.
developer. And our game was run at AGDQ this year, and we're watching the speed run of it.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's a stage that whatever. Anyway, yes, those are weather-face
Yeah,
enemies.
this
They all
stage is
correspond
super
to,
pretty. I
different
love how the
elements.
background
There's,
and
a whole
everything turned
elemental
out.
typing system in this game that comes up in very obscure scenarios, like certain attacks can be blocked with the right kind of shield, but I don't think you guys actually picked up a shield at all so far this run.
It's gonna be one later on the stage.
You know what? I think you might be
Bouncy.
right. I'm not sure
There
if I
is one
have.
stage where that's actually very, very important, but it doesn't come
Yes.
until much later in the run. So
True.
Yeah, because actually you have the metal charm item. Oh, damn. I say which one. Well, you have
Don't
different
spoil it.
elements charms you can actually buy, and those items actually make you start with that shield.
Oh, really?
and
Murga
also transform
is a
every other
Kurdish
shield
word
in that
for
type of
those who
shield
face death.
in the stage.
I did not know this.
So,
But she was
for
not
example,
named
metal
after that.
charm for no reason
She
at all,
was
you
kind
can
of
start
named
with the
after
metal
a
shield
specific
and
like
also
moon
turns
formation.
every other shield into metal. Oh, you really skipped that shield. Okay.
But
You
with like
don't want
a
the shield.
with like some
shield.
words, some
That's
letters
not what they're
rearranged.
using, just the shield, it's just to
I
make
can't
your words
remember
faster.
exactly which one. But I just
If
thought
you
that
hit A,
Murga
then
sounded
it's done
perfect for
just
her.
a split second. So
Thankfully, that catches you. It used to be a soft lock if you missed that.
It was pointed in the wrong direction. It was always meant to push you upwards. It was pointed
Wait.
downwards. Whoops.
That
Welcome,
was one of the
Albrecht.
first things that got
Welcome,
fixed after
welcome.
release, thankfully.
Yes, I am the producer of this game
About
and of the
50%
Freedom
of
Planet
stuff you're
series.
talking about is completely new to me.
I am so proud of our
I
team.
mean, I worked on it. Don't worry about it.
So well, now the last of these mini bosses is defeated. So now time to actually fight the boss of the stage. That is
Murga, the
Captain
fell
Claw.
omen.
The guy we raced earlier, except now he's out.
Welcome,
of luck.
Haas. Welcome,
Yeah, as
welcome.
it turns out, Captain
We're
Claw is
watching
a
the
traitor.
speed run.
Yes. Oh, actually, we have seen. If you pay a lot of attention when fighting Nelator,
true,
you
yeah.
will see him actually popping
Oh, it
out
was so
of the
fast.
road.
Murdered him really fast.
Yeah, that was a really
Now, during
good
this pause,
actually,
he usually says a dialogue line
Well,
in adventure mode. But in classic mode, it turns off dialogue line, so there's just a pause.
yes.
Which means
Now
element
you've
first
done
interaction is
it.
kind of funny. So
I
every time
am
he
the
attacks,
terror that
Claw
flaps
in
for
like a couple takes,
justice.
It will then deal another like half pedal of damage.
I'm
Like,
not doing
oh my
great
gosh,
at
I love
this.
Captain Claw as well.
Yeah, this fight is
Oh my
actually-
gosh,
this fight
like
can be,
his voice actor, I can tell that he had a
So
blast
very
voicing this
fast
character.
and tends to move
Well, excuse
around
me,
the
they
arena
had a
very
blast
rapidly.
voicing this
Actually,
character.
very good recovery at the end. Yeah, also there are those fans and well, everything is super floaty, so it's really hard to move there.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't fall off.
Yeah,
during
Captain
that boss fight,
Claw's
it'll get constant
dialogue
gust of air
lines are
coming
some of my
off the wall.
favorites in the game.
This stage is a lot of people's. It wasn't expected to become a favorite, but it's a lot of people's favorite, I think. Right?
Honestly, it was one of the
You're watching on the big
last
screen?
ones I actually
Nice.
put some effort on, but actually it is fine, yeah.
Spacey
it is a
on the
very
big
vertical
screen.
level, but also a very cycle-based level, because you have those puzzles that you have to actually
Yeah, this
enter in
this
that,
stage is one of the
small
most
track
unique
which
stages
undoes
in the
the
game.
first
Like,
parts.
I don't feel like
You can also interact with
there's
other
only like
objects
2
that take that
stages in the
place,
whole
so
game that
I
are
did
like
experience
vertical like
local
this,
cycles, but still.
which is this stage, Lightning Tower, and Clockwork Arboretum.
So we have many cycles here.
This is a very like puzzle-heavy level, and most of the puzzle-heavy levels in this stage were designed by one Will, who has actually been on the GDQ stream before. He was my co-com for the Bad Review run. It's all just people who've been associated with GDQ at some point worked on this game, apparently.
One of our level designers, Will,
It's all just how it goes.
he
I joke
loves
that every
making
time
puzzle
I
games,
played a
so
puzzle
the
level
levels
in
he worked
testing,
on
it's like
have
the stinks of Will.
more of a puzzle element to them.
Actually, I like it. I think a really nice job on this.
It's important for pacing. I just think it's funny that all the
It's
puzzle
really
levels are
Before we
primarily
get
the
too
same
far ahead,
designer.
Before we get too far ahead, I do want to mention that those 2 balls there that I just knocked into the sockets, people have been trying to figure out for months now if there's somebody to go
Yeah.
for the mounds. We haven't found one yet.
Nope.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's
those doors can actually
the
switch you,
current
so
like
that was dangerous.
that's the
Of all
current
things
holy
that,
grail
like,
of the
I
Freedom
didn't
Planet 2
catch before
speedrunning
the game
community
came out, where you guys
is to
were
figure out how to get on the outside of the lightning
Like,
tower and just like
the
climb up
weird ball
it.
thing was like super janky in testing all the time, but it's the one thing that hasn't given yet. I'm just like, I'm
Actually, I don't have
weirdly
very small
proud of
skip.
that.
I'm a bat.
I have a very small skip when there. Actually, I clipped through the door with one of them.
You broke everything else, but I have 2
Oh,
balls.
yeah, that's a very good fan theory,
You didn't
Noah
think about that
Tikasm,
before you said it, did you?
that I might have visited this tower in the past, and it became his inspiration to
Quickly
pursue
butting in
science.
here, we
Go
have
for it.
1,060, or sorry, 1,000, yes, 1,060, sorry, $1,160, my goodness, to go before we can get that incentive. So keep those donations coming in.
Very close. Coming in fast.
Yeah. We've still got like about half a run left, I think.
I'm so happy I can do the lilac face,
A little bit more.
the
I
lilac
think
stare,
Something like 40 minutes left.
because
If I had a timer in front of me, I could tell you.
on the
but I
original
don't,
in the
so-
original Freedom Plans file select screen, if you have enough
You
save
are
files as lilac,
53
she'll make this
minutes.
face in one of them.
Real time.
Yep, about 40 minutes then.
So, well, that is another spider, same as Navian Museum. You can kill the orbs or just kill the spider. It seems very convenient for Carol to actually kill the orbs since, well, she attacks very fast while falling, so now...
This stage is where the bike really shines, because you can just drive straight up the wall instead of having to actually platform.
Yeah, but the spark has to get here.
Yeah, this...
It is going to get hit. There it is. Okay, good. I was what there were a lot of issues with that one despawning.
Yes, excellent
If you,
commentary.
got out of its range, and then it would just break.
Now boss time. Actually, this boss is really fun this time, but at the same time it's really
Hi,
hard to
pets.
fight because
Thank
the hitbox
you.
of the head that is the only place you can hit.
Thank you for
Well,
having
not
patties.
exactly the only place. I learned a couple days ago that you can actually use special attacks on the belly, but the head is really small hitbox, and you're also fighting on rails. So it's and the way this boss is actually waving the head is actually very complicated to hit.
You love this game because it goes hard even with its filler bosses? Oh my gosh, yes.
Quote unquote slowly on the ground.
Like,
It's consistent
during
with
like
boss arenas that move,
the more difficult
but it's
periods of
particularly problem with this
development
one, 'cause the
when
boss
we
is
were all
slow.
kind of burned out, I had no way of like really measuring how good the boss
I worked
fights
on this
were.
game as a core testing staff.
So I'm glad that all of them are like,
All right, this is
Intense
my
in different
favorite
ways.
stage, and once
Yeah,
the
this
music
is the
kicks in,
level
my
yeah, favorite stage.
once the music kicks in,
Carol
it's my second favorite
shines the
song.
most.
I mean, it's not my all-time favorite stage in this game,
Well,
but
this
I
level
still
actually,
really love how it
Carol
turned
shines
out.
like really much actually.
It's the Metroidvania stage.
A very long level, but Carol actually makes it like super short.
Yeah, this
It's
level
incredible.
is.
Yeah, that's
Lightning Tower
that's
was
the
a
other
fun
thing that I
level.
really like
This
about the
level
stage is the
is
speedrun
very
strats for
a
it
puzzle
are
level.
extremely different
but
depending
we're
on the
playing as
character
Carol,
you
so we
you
just
play as.
Go over pack the puzzles.
Nira is the hardest to get
Maybe
it through
maybe about
it.
it.
She has to
Slightly less than half
basically
of the
be
stage
honest
level.
about the puzzles and actually like legit
every
solve them.
character is skipping all the
Carol is the
same
easiest.
puzzles, but
She
Carol
can
is
just like wall
particularly
jump and
fast for
skip
that
everything.
because of the way she does it. It's amazingly fast.
Yeah, this was actually the first level that I.
Wait, you can kill Nosalak before the stage starts?
I have it, but I am planning on trying to take it back once I get back.
I did not know this.
This one we're not doing anything special in because
Meow,
this one is a little player, trust me.
Motorcycle.
Yeah, on this one you have to actually do the puzzle, but still very fast traveling through it.
Carol
so
in la
it's not
motocicleta.
really stopping Carol.
You're getting the long drops through this without hitting any of the
Yeah,
blocks on the way down.
that last one in particular
Yeah.
is very difficult to weave through.
The story
without
behind those
touching any
bones.
of the blocks.
Those are some ancient
Yeah, the second
creatures
fall is a lot harder than
from the
first one.
times of the Dragon
Honestly,
War.
I'm pulling the face of
And like the weird like
because I've
the
never
weird
gotten
like
that
pumpkin
right, I think,
orbs that
once.
come out of enemies are called teaks. And
Okay, so
the
this one's
teaks
gonna
like
be-
to cause
this one's gonna
mischief.
be
They like to
pretty
try
heavy
and
skips, so
like
we're gonna do it,
infect
Yep,
like
no,
a
you're supposed
hollow
to get key fish
like
and put them in the
object or
palms and
host.
create platforms for you.
And
But
that's why
if
they
you bump
make
into
up
these
some of the
funny balls sort
enemies.
of, like backwards, you can just ride
And
up.
here they're
supposed
just
to
playing
bounce you
around
off.
with the
They're not
bones.
supposed to do that, but they do in fact do that.
Okay, that was really clean.
That is so
The bones.
It's like earlier,
Yeah.
Punchy mentioned that the bike.
I
is
cannot
super
believe
sticky
that
and
Carol
sticks to
can just like
everything
ride
even when you
up
don't want
the
it to.
jelly because it's supposed
It's
to
so
bounce
sticky,
you
it
off.
sticks to stuff that literally is the opposite of sticky.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I swear
Oh,
it
wow.
was really hard, but like as soon as like you guys found that, it suddenly became very easy for me to do it, and I was like, but like I oh well. Moving on with my life.
Oh,
If it makes
Carol.
you feel any better, I'm pretty sure.
She just
from
does
Moss's
not
video,
care
this level
about
was
the
where
puzzles.
I even learned that was possible. So,
I had no idea how it worked for like a week of playing this level. I just didn't know why it happened. I just knew it did. And even now, I'm still kind of hazy on the details. Also,
Whoa,
That
whoa,
fish
whoa,
stole the
whoa.
fish.
Oh, she's so fast.
not the lock is an uber troll.
Like
and
most
not-
stages
and not
have
just-
a par time
Not
of
just,
like 5 minutes,
like,
6 minutes. This stage has a
thematically,
par time of
boss fight is
15
gonna be
minutes.
Really annoying.
Yeah.
Nosalok is also voiced by the game's primary developer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I provided,
not
like,
from Carol,
Nosalok's,
but the boss fight,
laughs.
of other characters, at least for Nira and Mila, as far as I know, has some skip that is really complicated to get. A lot of
But
confusion.
Nosalok's laughs are very like synthesized. Like they have a lot of like
it's not like
vocal
the
effects
Hollow
applied on
Edition
top of them.
It's just you have
So
to
I
deal
can't,
a lot
like,
of damage
imitate
in a very
him
short period of
exactly.
time. But in order for
Yes.
that to be possible, a lot of
Without
conditions
them.
have to be met. And I don't think Carol is actually capable of dealing that quite so much damage in
I
bursts.
have seen a couple of attempts that make me think it is
Gosh,
possible, but
this-
really hard.
this room
But
is just
consider also
completely
that Carol is actually
skip.
using a full speed set.
That was the
item
hardest and
here.
final puzzle
Probably
room.
she will definitely be capable with
Nosalok
attack
redeem
items,
later
but
with
it's not worth it.
the effects.
Accelerator
That might be
actually is
fun.
a potion that gives you a very huge bonus on your ground speed, especially when you're on the bike.
Yeah, you
What
can
is it,
kind of hear it.
25%? 25%.
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh
that-
yes,
that-
my fangs. Uh-huh.
So
It's
Fangs
significant
always
that
accentuate an
people
evil laugh.
aren't on the bike, which is why we didn't really borrow it until more recently when we have bike start. But
That was really
That
good.
was
Yeah,
a
I never
really-
really
that
thought of
was
a
a really
backstory
good
for
idea.
Nosalok. He just
that
is.
boss, if that boss goes wrong, it really goes wrong.
yeah.
Oh wait.
There's a lot of variables to consider, like the moving floor and where they're gonna spawn. But sometimes they'll just spawn over lava, and it's like there's not it's hard to deal with that situation.
Yeah.
That was very fun. That is a stage that takes a lot of people like over 30 minutes to finish on their casual. It's quite long.
25
I think
Wow.
that's better.
My
I
first
think
time.
that was
Yeah,
better
like
than
if
my
you don't
old
know
PB.
how to solve the
And that was
puzzles,
my favorite
even though the part
stage.
time's 15 minutes, you
My
could
first time
easily
is
take
good.
half an
Another
hour.
level where Carol actually shines a lot.
And
Yeah, if this goes
Carol
well,
beat
it'll
it
go really well.
just
It looks
now in
really
4
cool,
minutes.
So hopefully it'll go really well. We'll see.
I love to see it.
I really love this stage too,
Yeah,
mostly
also
because of the
Carol
music.
with,
I'm very proud of
The
it.
bonus we were mentioning before with Accelerator actually
Like,
rides the walls,
Wolfo and I
like,
just went
all
full
the
Mega Man
whole
X for this
stage,
song.
Like this.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's like skipping very much every single section by just riding walls.
That's
This is more
cool.
difficult than it looks. Some of these corners just are random,
Yeah, some of
pretty
the
much.
corners are
Oh my
complicated.
gosh, yeah.
I got a smile on my face about that one. That looks great.
Now the fire shield that is actually very useful for the next section. The next section is actually skipped. I think every character does, but for Carol it's like
okay,
super
hold on.
ridiculously fast.
That
well,
tunnel
the
shows
hang-
every
hangbar one.
speedrunner at least once.
Yes,
Let's
yes,
see. All right.
completely.
What? What? Okay.
Yes,
I
this is
guess
the route
we're
that
going
every
across the
character
whole
uses,
thing.
but
Why can't you
Carol
get
is
up
so
here?
fast.
See, the reason that I put like lava and other items up here
There you can cling on to.
is that you're supposed to go like downhill instead of uphill
And
There's
the fire
crystals
shield.
up there, but like
as
the
a sort
whole
of
thing is
Easter
sort of
egg.
Get up here if not
sequestered.
Carol.
Actually, it's
The
very
whole thing's
funny
kinda
when you see the full
sequestered.
map of this stage, where are located the crystals, because there are crystals.
Yeah, you're
like, in
supposed to
every
get to this
single
part like the
corner of
normal way
stage.
by going
Like,
underground
if you go back
and then-
until the very
Okay,
first
and then
wall
like
of
go
the game, there is a
downhill
crystal.
during that section.
I say not
at the
supposed
end.
to. It's not like a glitch that you can get up there, but it's like quite clearly not part
Yeah,
of the
I love how
normal
this
flow.
part feels.
You have to go quite out of
Like
your way
this
to get up
stage
there.
is like the
It's not
antithesis
what the
of
games,
Ancestral
originally suggest, maybe,
Ancestral
but
Forge.
Yes,
it's
it's
there.
not-
You can
Forge
see it.
was
It's
the
not the
methodical
final
puzzle
question, but
Metroidvania
it's
type
supposed to
stage,
be
and this
someone
stage is
is.
like fast.
I don't recall exactly. I'm not, for what it's worth, I'm not like the level designer. I'm
That's
also not a
fair.
mind reader either.
So now we have
this boss
this fight.
is cycle based, and it's basically an auto scroller. So now will be a good time for donations, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Sure.
Perfect. We have a $50 donation from Selene.
Oh, sorry,
that
I've got
reads,
links,
"Sending more support
disabled.
from Primal
Let me
Bullies.
see.
Good luck with the run.
Are you trying to post the link
And
to the
again,
Discord server?
We're still not that far away from the incentive, so keep those donations coming in. And speaking of the incentive, we have a $100
Oh, a Twitch
donation
clip.
from Sly that says, "Let's meet that weapons
Okay, if it's in
core
the Discord
incentive.
server,
It's
then I can,
syntax
share it."
slashy time." We also have a $500
Oh, yeah, that's something Carol
anonymous
says during the
donation.
story. It's
We
robot
do
smashy
stand behind
slashy
you,
time.
Uranium Anchor, as always, go UA. And
Okay.
we have, oops, sorry.
No, go ahead.
We have a
I'm about to
25.
die. Boss does not usually live this long.
Is my head still tied to my mouse? My eyes are.
I can recover this. I'm just like not used to fighting this space.
Not my head. My head
Alright.
actually turns with
We
my
have
real
a
life head.
$75 donation from Tanya that reads, "Years ago, the original Freedom Planet inspired me to get into game development. And
Oh my
today I'm
gosh.
grateful to be able to donate to such a great cause."
Did you hear
And
that donation
as
message?
a successful game dev during the amazing sequel to that game. Carol is the best, and I'm excited to see her
Oh my
crush this
gosh.
game.
Okay, so normally the moment you finish this boss,
Oh my
you have to
gosh,
wait for
that's
the
so
lava
wonderful to
rise.
hear.
But we're playing Carol, so we just
Like whenever
built a
somebody
wall.
gets inspired to pursue game
Actually,
development
I can do that
because of our
with
games.
Sly.
Previous versions, you just ignored the boss entirely.
I'm, like, all
because
blushy
there
for
wasn't
real.
an
Oh my
invisible
gosh.
ceiling.
Here's a scary point.
Yeah, a
It's
very
a-
scary boss fight.
Yeah,
Because
that's
actually
bosses.
it's a really complicated one. Very high risk to die.
Oh,
Going
And
for
we
no
don't have
lives.
Pascal really is like a roadblock
Yeah, once
during
again,
Carol
they put
speedruns.
the no lives gravestone in concert with a.
Oh,
a
okay,
that
because
gives
of
you
the-
more
of the
attack
item
power when
loadout that you have.
no lives, so they do more damage. But obviously, the risk is that if you die, there's no recovery from that. You can't.
Yeah,
revive.
there is no revival.
And this
Yeah,
one has a lot of
because
health, so
you can get
really
you
need
can
the extra
like
damage.
the best way to
But
raise your
also,
attack
this
power,
dude is
like to the
buff.
absolute highest it'll go,
This dude is
is
buff.
two items.
I
One
actually
is
did
a
it
no
in
stocks
17
gravestone,
stages. Yeah,
which
definitely.
like removes all of your
Voiced
lives.
by the same guy
And then
who
the
voiced-
payback ring, which increases your damage a ton, but only on your last life.
That's Piccolo, isn't it? Someone's gonna yell at me for that.
So it's a very popular combination for speedrunners who usually take it to boss-only stages.
Look. Tension moment. One health
Oh.
hit. Yeah, this is a
Nice.
okay.
Okay, you made it.
Okay,
Very
Carol
nicely
won.
done.
Let's go. That was a clutch one. That was a really
Yes,
really
that is correct, Vixie Venomous.
tense moment.
During development, I actually
guess I
used
should
Dragon
mention,
Ball Z
rank
sound effects as a
surveys
placeholder for
entirely on what
Ascal,
items you have
as a
equipped
little
and
like
how many times
inside
you
joke
die on
to who his voice actor is.
Since there is the
And
score
when we
system
commissioned
and
new
there
sound
is-
effects
timing has its own
from Fatbard,
Yeah,
they
the
actually
rank
kept
system
the
factor in
vintage
time
anime
whatsoever, and it was like that by
aesthetic
design,
of his
because the rank
boss
system is
sounds.
of my design.
So that's
And it
really
confuses
cool.
absolutely
I liked how
everyone.
they turned
Yes,
out.
it does. It's not the most well conveyed thing. I have various regrets about that. Let's not get into it.
Well,
So I just
sometimes
I really
I
like this
wanna say
stage
that real
too.
quick. So I
Like,
took
there's
the
a lot of
payback
like
ring
enemy
into the stage
infighting
because you have to
between
fight,
Oz
like, really
forces and
early in the
Serpentine's
stage.
forces.
And
it's just so like crazy and chaotic.
That makes
Yes, that was actually the same thing I was about to say. This level has a very particular item set that actually is the same for some later level that involves using Payback Ring, but also Accelerator instead of potions. Because
we hired the voice cast like very early on.
Chaos level. I really like it.
Because we wanted to get like the story and dialogue out of the way first. Unlike the original Freedom Planet, where we kind of just like were writing by the seat of our pants.
Oh yeah,
armies of robots.
we haven't.
So we made sure to take care of the story first this time around, and that really helped us figure out exactly what stages we wanted to make.
When you go to the Navy Museum and also the auditorium. But yeah, is a
swap the channel icon for my Lilac there.
A lot.
Maybe I could make that some kind of like an incentive or goal. Like maybe a really high channel point reward is where I would change it for 24 hours.
I didn't know that actually. I didn't realize. Okay. But yeah, is just a kind of mild scientist.
Here's the boss.
Oh, yeah.
They drop bombs, and that can be exploited with Carol because Carol's up kick has like very generous hit stop on it. It like stops the enemy in place for a noticeably
yeah. Carol's kick coming in clutch again to stun the enemy.
And then the hit stop ends, and then they get hit again quite quickly. So this boss can be killed very fast.
Wow! Oh my goodness!
That was extremely good.
This only works because for some reason this boss,
Zulan Jungle faster than Dragon Valley.
Very happy with that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's a good find. For some reason, this boss doesn't halt their attacks when you hit stun them, only their movement, and that makes this whole whole kill possible.
This stage is really cool too.
Other bosses will just completely
for one specific reason, past the halfway mark.
There's a boring technical reason for that, but we're on another level now.
Yeah.
A whole nother level.
Actually, a level that is very fast-paced, very well, like all
that
the
is
game,
that is true. True,
fun,
Angel. Overkill is not a word in Serpentine's dictionary.
For now, the core is actually finding reaching a section.
Oh my gosh, I love Serpentine so much in this game.
To actually build
he's nuts.
Robot.
He was already crazy in the first game, but he brings it to a whole new level in this game.
Ceiling.
That metal shield there is actually really important.
Oh, also fun fact about this speedrun, apparently it peaked at 53,000 viewers.
Spikes, so it allows you to ride along the
that is so amazing.
Yeah.
Which is I
can't even recall the last time that I watched a stream that had that many viewers outside of like Nintendo Direct.
They're not good, they're middle.
The riding on the surface of the water.
Have to reroute.
Yeah, I could tell that Serpentine voice actor, Jason Lord, loved his role a lot. He voiced Serpentine in his higher register and General Gong in his lower register.
Yeah, that was
it was a lot more extreme in the first game, and it kind of hurt his voice. So the pitch of both characters is a bit more subdued in Freedom Planet 2, but it still is recognizable as them. Yeah, this part, this twist.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, you're right.
We just had to have a mech section.
Can I even make that joke?
More like,
oops.
Yep, easily the best part of the stage.
So, well, we're actually inside the...
Like, I'm actually surprised, like, people who actually sit down and play the game and, like, review it don't really like this section because of how, like, heavy and slow the BFF 2000 feels. But, you know, it's still pretty easy and, like, just, like, the surprise factor. And that's kind of the challenge with this level, is that we had to build it to accommodate both like the regular player with how small they are and this enormous mech, which was extremely difficult. But I think we did well with the time that we had.
To actually charge your attacks for more power, but you have to actually check out the timing for
mech fight
by the shielding movement. Also, you have a dash attack that consumes all your meter.
Yep, it's a payoff for searching for the combiner parts.
To clarify, you have a attack on your normal attack button and a dash on your special button.
Special.
And you can charge the
Oh,
attack.
I hear a
for
glitch.
missiles
You
and
still hear
the dash
Carol's
for
bike
super
if you
dash.
hop in the mech
And
while she's
yeah,
riding
that's
it.
I was hoping to get the dash kill, but
Sub 3.
didn't quite get it for some reason.
Coming in with the...
This is Tyson Tan's dream fight. Yeah, I
we're
bet
in
so.
59.
I also select one actually.
Gravity bubble. Does the power-up still spawn in the wrong place?
No, they fixed this literally today.
Excellent.
Literally today.
Yay!
Yeah, it takes a couple seconds actually.
Coming in clutch
That
with the
makes me
speedrun
very
patch.
happy.
Right before the run.
Yeah, for the right reasons. The item was actually spawning at the top of the water instead of there, so it was actually taking for like a couple seconds.
It
I
can
didn't know that was fixed, actually. I was setting up a joke, but actually...
it can actually be
It
quite
was
scary
literally today, yes.
to
They
update
fixed that
the
literally today.
the game, even if
I
it's
was
in the
leaving
beta
for
branch,
studio,
to like update a game right
leaving
before a big
the
event like
Galaxy
this.
Trail,
So
posting the speedrun
I
Discord.
communicated
Hey, there's a
with
new
the
patch on the beta
speedrunners
branch, go try
in
it
their
out.
own
Like,
Discord server
that's
while I
funny.
was
Why
update
would
while
you
we were
time it
updating
like
it,
that?
just to make
But
sure
it
that
was
everything was going to be okay.
I did a run.
If at any point they had told me no, it's too risky, then I would have reverted
Water
it.
level.
Yes,
It's
it was
actually
kind of an
somewhat fun to
inverted
run
one.
because of the way bike works.
Ah, it took
How it
Sippy.
lets
Yeah.
you grab to walls and gain momentum going downwards, like that.
As
Post-launch
many other games, actually,
post-launch
water
fixes
is,
and support
complicated to
has been
actually
top
go
tier.
fast,
Oh, thank
but
you,
we have
Argo.
the advantage of actually being able to
Yeah, we're
ride
doing our
walls.
best.
That is actually a big advantage.
Like, we all just
compared
kinda, like,
to other
crashed
stages.
hard
So
after
getting
release.
walls and, well, go
Like
a lot faster than if you
about a
were,
week
like,
after the
just
game
doing,
released,
like,
and we did like the day one patches and all that. We
With
just
this wheeling, you
we all
have
just
a
kind of crashed hard,
set speed and
but
you
we're
can
still
move up and down.
pushing through to
When you're
address
climbing up
people's
walls, but especially
concerns
down
and
walls,
reports.
You use more standard physics and can go faster, like that.
The game honestly came out pretty polished on day one.
So,
Yes,
this
I'm very
also has
proud
a lot
of
cycles, like
how polished the
many
game
things
was
that are
on
actually
launch day.
platforms that are moving since the
Like that
think
last
they're
week,
actually
we really
cycles.
okay, came in
I
clutch.
misread that. Oops.
Yeah, I'm so proud of
Aside from
everybody.
that,
Oh,
This is
yeah.
just a long wire level, so I think this is a good time for donations.
Oh
Yeah.
That's-
Oh,
Perfect. Yes, we
Sa-
definitely
Sab's
have some.
character
We have a
design is top tier.
$25
Thank you
donation
so
from
much,
French
Angel.
Toast that reads, "Let's get the extra boss incentive met for Freedom Planet 2, and best of luck to UA on his run." And if we want to meet that,
I kind of
that
touched on this
incentive,
on
we're
my
gonna need to
debut
start
stream,
a
but
$5
working on
train
this
here. Come
project
on,
with my
chat,
new
you
model
can do it.
debut
We
and
are
like my new
super
like
close.
overlay and like the animations and graphics and
And
everything, it
yeah,
honestly helped
almost
get me
there.
out of that like
We have
depressive
a
state
$50
after releasing
donation
Freedom
from
Planet 2.
Kodiak that reads, "Good luck with the run, UA. Stay comfy, speed
Because like the
friends."
release of the game after it came
And
out,
we have a
all those hours that I would normally spend
a
every day
$25 donation
working on it were just I was just like doing
Ann
nothing.
Basil that reads,
it-
"Freedom Planet 2 hype."
It was kind of like a grieving
Dazzle.
process, you know.
Hi, Dazzle.
Hi, Dazzle.
Very important.
And that void in my schedule in my heart was kind of filled by like the whole
So they
VTuber
made-
thing.
They made the auto splitter. For
So
this
I think for that
game, so
reason,
that's been
like
insanely helpful.
Spacey Batotelli is always going to be near and dear to my heart.
I actually
We
managed to
also-
use their code to base an IL auto splitter.
I love
as
being
well, so
Spacey
that's
Bat.
cool. Sorry, keep reading.
I'm a bat.
We have a $25
Yeah.
donation from Parabolic that says, "From one speed friend to another, thanks for everything you do, UA."
Yeah,
And a $50
post-release depression can be a
donation
thing.
from Grith
Absolutely.
Almer that reads, "Freedom Planet 2 was one of my favorite games from last year. Here's to
Yeah,
showing
Gravity
off the
Bowl is
secret
very
stage."
unique. Not only is it like pretty much completely
Okay,
underwater,
So this is the point at which the plot really
like,
starts
which is the
to
only
begin.
stage in the
And
game
suddenly
that's
there's
like
a
that,
giant
really.
Spaceship on your tail. That's
but
firing
like
lasers.
it doesn't have a traditional boss fight. You're
You
just
get killed
running
by
for
that
your
giant- I
life.
don't know if it was changed or
at the
not.
end.
The giant laser like evaporates you. Does it still evaporate you if you get hit
Oh,
by it?
thank you for the
remember.
head
That might
pat.
be-
I does.
Genuinely-
I got hit, but I never died to it, so I don't know.
Okay, when you get evaporated by the giant laser beam,
Yeah,
hitting
Murga
you
trying to
can't
headshot
revive
you with a
after
Death
death. There
Star.
are very few things in the game that do that. I think that's one of them.
Hope you feel better and stay that way for a long time. Thank you, Health
Yeah,
Sword.
they're absolutely
Thank you so
things.
much.
Bonus boss uses that as a standard mechanic.
Yeah,
So
like
the next level is an auto scroller. Be really
this
good.
this
and you
Bakunawa
can speed
chase
up by killing
section,
things.
like at the end of
That's
Gravity
really
Bubble,
interesting
is like
mechanic.
breathtakingly
It's not an
intense.
auto-scroller, and they sure
I
it
wanted
wasn't
it
that big.
to live
So,
up to the
it's a
fact that it
shooter
uses the
thing.
trailer music.
Like,
Kind of.
like the use of the trailer music really pushed us to
donations during the sheer stage. So.
make it as awesome as we could.
Thank you.
And then, of course, afterwards, the shmup.
Absolutely. We have
You gotta have a shmup level.
donation from
And generally, I would
Kona
recommend
Weekend
that if
says,
your
"We
game is
want
not a
wet
shmup and it
color."
has a shmup
And I
level, you
agree,
should
I
make
also
it
want
relatively easy compared to the rest of the
Well,
game.
let's
Just because it's a different
we also have a
mechanic.
$100
And you gotta
donation
account
from
for the fact that the
BT
player
Savage
has
that
no
reads,
experience
"Do I
with it
want
up
some
to this
more
point."
AGDQ? Heck yeah, I do. Let's get this incentive. And a $40 donation from Raphael Ventura. That
Morgan
reads,
Berry threatening the heroes was so
"Hi,
well done.
Freedom
Oh my gosh,
Planet
Morgan
2
Berry
animator
did such a
here.
wonderful job
So weird
voicing
to see a
Murga.
game we worked on for 7 years being run in 2 hours.
And I can tell that
Also,
like
Happy
she really
Carol was
like
chosen.
had so
He's
much
my
fun.
favorite
If I'm not
character, and in
mistaken,
fact,
Murga
one of
was
the
her first
things I
villain
animated
role.
for the game. So you're looking at 6
And
to
she's
7
voiced
years
a few
old
villains since then.
animations there.
But I think
Actually,
Murga
kinda
was like
crazy
the
to
OG.
realize that, but the ones I had more fun were definitely Kalau and Askal. I hope I
Yes.
pronounced that correctly.
Yeah, pretty good.
Anyway, have fun.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Put a smile on my face. Also, it occurs to me, Chad is completely correct. This is an airboat. Like, literally. It is an airboat.
Hey,
Yeah,
It's
airship.
more that the boats are air. The airships are boat-shaped.
And like shout out to
Cannot believe I
Proto
didn't
for
think of that.
like
Thank you, Chad.
coding the entire shmup section from the ground up.
It was predicted by the texts. Right, we have a boss here.
Like
The boss is
pretty
a
much
giant
all of
enemy
this, other
crab.
than Zao's airship, was entirely
There's another
Proto's
one
doing.
For you. I just aged half of
He
the
even
chat
drew
with
like
that.
the enemy ships and like the crab boss.
So obviously you have a sweet spot, you can just stay there and shoot and, well, you're fine.
There you go.
Yeah, despite dying, that's
Very
like
fast.
only.
Normally, when you
fine.
fight this
What was that
boss,
boss
you
called
could
again?
destroy individual parts of it
Giant
piece by
enemy.
piece to disable its weaponry.
I think it's got an actual
But
name.
the
I don't know what
speedrun
it
strat is to just aim
Actual name, I
straight
think,
for
is
the mouth.
Revion?
I don't
Sounds
remember.
right. Sounds
Genuinely
right.
don't remember.
Hey Spacey, hi Noetic. Can you ask what made the team lean hard into Chinese theming for the Freedom
I
Planet
think
world
the
building?
I think the museum has it.
Was it a
labeled.
general interest or was there something
no,
to
the
it?
team doesn't play with the bosses. They just have
For
like,
the original Freedom Planet, the
Yeah,
reason
some of
I
these
went with a
things only have
Chinese
names in, like,
aesthetic is
internal
because
data. They don't have, like,
while
actual
at Carol and Mila,
There's
their
this whole
character
side
designers
quest where you fill out museum with
were
boss
from China.
fights using the 3 types of currency that you collect.
Oh, yeah. That's an adventure mode.
And like from there, I just kind of like felt inspired, you know?
And that's as more as I know about it. I
And
actually
like
know
the
the
irony
adventure
is that
modes
this
also
that
because
decision,
they're actually the Battlefield when
I think
you
is one
actually
of the
select
reasons
them.
that like Tyson Tan first found
well,
out
there are a
about
couple
Freedom
you can
Planet
find there.
and
This is one of
then
them.
volunteered
The
his
other one
services
is,
for the sequel.
The one in American and a couple
So
of
it's really
others.
cool how that worked out.
So,
Well, Rails.
Wow, that shit lasted 2 seconds.
this
right.
is the start of the.
And it kind of
final
ties
set of
into my
levels.
interest in like world cultures
like-
outside of my
like
own.
how Flower Dreadnought was, except these
Yeah.
are each
And
full
like
actual
that
level.
also like ties into how like Freedom
like
Planet
the
2
Final
has
section,
like
but,
has incorporated
titles
like
ones.
bits of Filipino mythology. Because our
Yeah, go
associate
get that,
producer and the voice of
scores
Lilac,
into
Dawn
it.
M.
It's gonna
Bennett,
be,
is half
What, 10
Filipino.
more minutes?
Sounds about right, yeah.
And she was like kind of our consultant for
We
like
are less,
like the culture and
less
the
than
theming.
$1,000. We are
Whoa, we're really
$920
close.
away, so we're super close.
We have like.
Yeah, this
10
background is beautiful.
minutes, I think?
Some of the background work, including for this stage, was done by Lewis, who is
Yeah, more like 10 to
pretty
15
well
minutes.
known in the Sonic the Hedgehog community.
I'm gonna say that
He's
I
working
would
on a
love
fan
to
game
actually
called
see the,
Sonic Studio,
playing through the
which
Battlefield
is like
challenges, so
Mario
please
Maker
don't
but with
play.
Sonic.
I'm not doing the Battlesphere challenges. I am
Just-
loading his
And here,
save.
Serpentine turns.
Oh.
Serpentine?
Lumpia is goated. Yeah. Dawn introduced me to Lumpia. Like one of the last times that we met. Like she introduced me to Lumpia and Pancit.
And here we
Pancit
have,
is like a
something
Filipino
resembling
noodle dish.
pinball.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Both Lumpia is amazing too. I've only had them once and I never forgot. I want to have them again sometime.
So you have to actually route them properly. Actually, I found out that in this section now you can actually break it with only 3, but it's really slow because you have to do
Yeah,
top.
I had fun with like the pinball mechanic in this
do the top
stage.
again after the first one is like super slow.
And just like
Yeah,
making
you
it
can
feel like
actually do it
very
pretty slow.
intense and climactic.
I meant to take the top route just because it's easier, but then I got caught by the ring. So.
Oh, you actually learned a little bit about Chinese and Filipino culture from this game? You're grateful for that? That's awesome to hear, Mike.
Whoa, that was really
close.
close.
And that's another point in favor by like exploring different cultures. And like it's kind of like why representation matters, because you learn a little bit more about the world.
Bars are probably my least favorite mechanic in the game.
Like even though of course they're like fantasy counterparts in a game like this. Like it's not actually Earth, it's Avalanche, but you know.
It's not that terrible to me. I mean, you can go fast actually out of them, but yeah, the cycles probably are a bit annoying to run.
What? What the heck is that?
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, you saved it.
These last few stages have
Yeah, that's a good point, Angel.
game, in my opinion.
Like the concept of a celestial eating like mythical giant serpent is portrayed in numerous cultures.
Like, what, $300
But in Filipino culture, it's specifically the myth of the Bakunawa, the moon-eating dragon. And that's how we, that's why the Murga's spaceship is named the Bakunawa.
This part of the stage is like...
It's kind of like how games that are
involving
inspired by Norse mythology will usually have something named Ragnarok,
They're on global cycles, but still.
which is the Nordic concept of like the end of the world.
I'm being particular. That's my job.
There's a way to actually.
I learned a lot about Norse mythology too when I was living overseas.
Previously mentioned layer clips. I think every character can actually get there. I think Mila is the only one that probably has.
Oh right. Jormungand there,
really complicated to get to the end.
or is that how it's pronounced? That's the serpent for on the Norse end.
By the way, for the first two phases, but then
Yeah, I had fun with Oz voice clips in this fight.
So it's still
Anytime that he takes damage, he plays an ouch clip. But if you have element burst equipped, which is like a lingering poison effect, he'll start. It sounds like he's like sick and coughing.
Super excited to see people running this, and be sure to donate for the special boss so we can see more of this phenomenal game.
Hey. Thank you for calling my game phenomenal.
We are less than $600 away from the incentive being met, so let's keep that train going.
Yeah, Angel, that's actually kind of how I came up with Oz's name to begin with, is that I imagine he plays a lot of video games.
4 or 5 sounds right,
Discounting,
like arcade games, and he just smashes through the high score screen where you enter your name.
5 levels.
And then later on, I decided that it's more because whenever you ask him his name, he just screams.
You already fought Ascal in Diamond Point and several times, but you never fought them together,
double boss.
so
This boss has 2 hitboxes,
One of those kinds of dual
Ascal
fights
and
where the fight changes depending on who dies first. Like
Yep.
they have a different desperation phase, so you kind of want to line it up so that they die at roughly similar times. But that's actually kind of hard because Ascal's got a lot more.
yeah, the
life
speedrun
than
strat
Ara
is to
does.
make sure that they die at the same time, because
Yeah, and he's this is on
the
purpose.
first one you
Very
defeat
rare,
influences
but,
what the pinch phase
Ascal
is.
dies before Ara does, but he does have an entirely unique set of like attack data for if that scenario should crop up.
They have, and you can tell something actually about that, is that Ascal is actually the hardest to kill first. Normally you have to like heavy focus Ascal to take it take him down first. But if you do, actually is jumping one side to the other, and it's really annoying and really hard to hit, so probably you really want to kill first
All phases get really hard if you kill one guy first. So this went rather well overall, though.
Yeah, the most optimal thing is trying to
Yeah,
kill
that
both,
was kind of
pretty
my
much at the same
idea
time.
that I had with this boss, Angel.
That is really visually busy.
It kind of like is built specifically to amplify the abilities of both characters.
That's the fight I'm scared the most of dying.
That's why it has like the punchy arms that resemble Ascal's 100 hooked fists.
That one doesn't worry too much. I think Diamond's Point is definitely the scariest one to run.
And yeah, that's why it takes place in like in an arena filled with crystals, and why its abilities are like crystal based, so that can exploit them to make it even more powerful.
This stage, you're gathering keys to move an elevator up.
And like
floor by
Astral
floor.
Golmek was the last boss that Tyson Tan
if I can
designed
make a
because it was
request,
pretty tricky
would
to
it be
get the
possible
look
for
down.
The keys to just insert if you're holding
But-
them as you pass by instead of
Oh my
having to
gosh,
slow down a little
he did
bit.
such an amazing job with
I'll
it.
lodge it and see what can be done.
I second that request.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, Clockwork Arboretum, it's so unique. It's got the vertical elevator in the middle, and you
I swear
have
this isn't why
to
I
go
invited
into
you.
these separate mini challenge rooms to get keys to make it go up to the next floor progressively.
Less than $200.
So it gave us an opportunity to like
We're really
bring
close.
back like gimmicks from past stages,
Really
kind of
close,
like
yeah.
what a Mega Man Fortress
So,
stage would do.
Well, basically, Clockwork Arboretum is a level that you have 8 floors and you
Oh,
have
yeah.
to collect the key in every floor.
Paige is
and
barking
get
at
back to
something
the elevator.
in classic Page
So,
fashion.
well, that's very much the
Someone
explanation
must have
about
walked
it.
by the
Enjoy
window
show
or
and,
drove by the
I
window
guess we
or
have
something.
fun.
Boss just trolled you.
Yeah, the bike
Oh yes,
walked
of course.
onto him.
I think the music for the boss fight in this stage is my favorite boss music in the whole
So,
game.
yeah,
This will
there's
prioritize
just
enemies.
bosses and levels now. Because tension, I guess.
That's where all the robots come from. That's where they live.
Yeah, this is kind of like a
No, they come
biosphere
from straight
stage,
on.
where it's like it's got like samples from the planet. Like every section in here is like a previous stage, sort of.
Yeah, it's a giant garden. It's an arboretum. Like, because the final boss is like the main villain's hobby is gardening. But this is one of the things that is just
Yep.
about this game is that you should always give your main villain just a completely
Like in
benign
order to
hobby.
get
In this case,
the
it's gardening.
true ending, you have to obtain
plants.
special items in the optional
You know, I
Battlesphere
believe you,
challenges.
and I'm not sure if I should.
And
I'm telling-
later in the game, you
I'm
can
completely
play
telling the
audio
truth.
logs from them,
Okay.
and it's from those logs that you find
Have
out
we
that
even
Murga has an
spoken
interest in
about the
flowers
villain
and
at all at this
horticulture.
point?
No, not really. I mean, it's like a game that's like 9 hours long normally. You know, I'm gonna discuss the plot.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah, it's your
honestly
tiles,
mostly
Dusky.
Trying to avoid spoilers.
Welcome,
but,
welcome.
I mean,
Hope your day is going well.
as much as it's possible when showing off a speedrun. Because
It's
I
a
really do
relatively
think,
new game after all.
Yeah,
and I really do think it. I'm sure this is gonna sound backhanded, but the story is
$10
really
more?
very.
Will
the story is
Crabulon
very much
and the
improved
Lunar
from the
Command
original,
bosses
so.
be added to the Battlesphere at some point?
Okay.
Probably not.
Incentive
met.
It's
Thank you
because
very
Lunar
much,
Cannon,
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you very much, everyone.
or Lunar
Also,
Command,
don't worry about the backhanded thing. I
it
assure you.
relies on the background in order to make the laser effects
Actually, yeah.
This
like
was
work.
fixed in the beta that again released.
Because
today.
if we just put it in the Battlesphere as is, it looks like it was trying to shoot the
game has
audience.
Zoom levels, and the camera did very funny
So I'm not
things
really sure
with
how
the
to
zoom
address-
level
how to
I
address
like
that.
Also,
use.
you're not supposed to be able to do
And
that. but you can
Crabulon, of
just
course,
kind of
because
drop
it's-
through
it's
that floor that's supposed
bigger
to show
than the
up there
Battlesphere
and skip
itself.
The entire return trip.
Yep. If fast enough, it works.
Oh yeah, these fire launchers, bunkers, these are really annoying.
That was pretty bad.
You really want them out. But the problem is that if you are too close
Nah.
from them, you just bonk on them, so you cannot actually attack. It cancels your attack animation, so you have to time it very well.
Yeah. Dusky actually drew the graphics for Murga in
That
Lunar
was the
Command.
last long floor.
The next
That
floor
was
phenomenal job.
just has the key, pretty much.
It adds so much to the
it's
fight.
very much the last
Area.
checkpoint.
This is just hit.
Oh yeah, Fists of Frog.
Yeah.
I don't see people mention mention it that much, but
So
yeah.
this is a boss that you
I just
skip
one
as
day I just
Carol
felt like
normally
screwing
in-
around and making like a
Okay,
retro style
bye-bye.
arcade game, putting it in the Battlesphere.
You still got the
this
bike
is-
in your inventory, but
This is Corey. She normally shows up earlier, but because they're like sisters, you don't fight her where other characters do. She has a gun. That's her thing. Other, like every other character has like cool ninja powers.
Oh, you
or,
did
like,
get the
is
Fist
a
of Frog achievement?
Slightly magical being. Corey has a gun. She
It's
shoots
also-
with it.
the sister of Carol, and that comes with that kind of
Ah,
acrobatics
Mama
from the
Stacy's
first game.
home.
It's not really shown here, but she uses the jump pounds from the first game.
That's true.
Yeah, I love this boss fight. I'm very proud of how it
Yeah, so
turned
this
out.
fight takes place in freefall, which has
Yeah.
interesting implications for the physics, because you can kind of
Yeah,
run up the
yeah.
walls and stuff.
Yeah, the physics do take
You're
some
always
getting
kind of
used to
drifting
when you're
around
running
space
down the
getting
wall.
accurate. This shot's
So
actually
that's
quite
why the
difficult.
fight isn't really that hard
I
compared to the other
definitely
Bacchanal
screwed up
bosses,
the pattern
because you
already.
might need some time to get acclimated to the free fall.
The disc has a habit of drifting off target because if you hold up while you're sort of drifting to the
Yeah,
right,
she has jet
go
boots.
straight up, it kind of goes up at an angle. It's a lot of a learning process, this one. It takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, because also if you try to attack at the same time you're riding a wall, riding the wall is actually
Awesome.
gonna cancel your attacks. So you have to be careful.
And of
about
course,
that.
since it's her sister she defeated, she doesn't have the usual victory dance.
So, well, this is actually my actual favorite level, probably for the
Oh,
wrong reason
yeah,
too, but actually
favorite
it's
level.
really fun to speedrun. It's
This is
really easy to
another
get lost as
polarizing
casual,
stage,
when you play
just
the
like
game for the first
Ancestral
time,
Forge.
but
Depending on who you
speedrunning
ask,
is
it's either one of the best or one of the
really
worst.
casual. Inversion Dynamo is plenty of these teleporters and a lot of speed
Oh yeah, it was
transformation
UTZ who
sections,
suggested
lot of
that
puzzles.
change
I
where
guess
she
we- right?
where she doesn't do her victory dance if she defeats Corey.
I'm not sure actually on this one.
The reason why Revo threw the bike and then got back on it right there was because there's a small
Yeah,
glitch
this stage is nuts.
where if you
It's like 4D with the
move into a
teleporters.
bike pickup while you're locked in a certain direction, say you're drop kicking, your direction will remain locked until you get off the bike and get back on it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
Just a
music
tiny
track
little
for this
kind of
stage.
lost, no big deal, but there was a
Wolf will
reason for
actually
that.
like just
Yeah,
straight
I
up
mean,
ask
this level
me,
has
do you want
some
me
cycles,
to
so actually
just
that might cost you a
go all
cycle,
Sonic
so-
CD up in here?
There are
And
like 3
I
seconds
said,
cycles
yeah,
of
let's do
blocks
it.
right after the first
Because I
checkpoint,
usually
so
like give her
the
like
second
the main melody
checkpoint. Still got
to build off of first. And I did that for this one too, and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
The
Let's
vanishing
do it
blocks
Sonic CD
from
style.
Avian Museum show up again here. And
Yeah, but now
they're here with a
there's
vengeance,
serpentine
'cause they're
thing.
actually in the way now.
Oh, whoops, that's not what I want to go.
Maria Note is so cool. You wish she got to see
So
her
there
more
are
in
very
game,
funny
but
routes
you're
and
so glad
puzzles
she got a
on the
voice.
stage.
Yeah, me too.
So
I love
you can
Maria
actually
Note
take
so
all
much.
the way. You're gonna spawn.
I'm
in
glad
the-
she
in
had the
portal,
voice.
that is in
And
the
like
same
Maria
position,
Note
carrying your momentum prior
is
to
like
that.
literally the
So
reason
depending on where
that
you enter
Spacey
the
Batelli
portal
exists.
And what speed you have is how.
So
you get
I'm
launch
grateful for that.
Of it. So.
Yeah.
Should note though, it doesn't take your exact position into account. You
Yeah, I'm
always
sorry, I
spawn
need you to
at,
shut
like,
up for a
the center
second.
portal.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
also
it's
like
a relative.
I
Yeah.
also like
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
right,
also
okay,
one of my
so you-
favorite stages from a
Okay.
narrative standpoint too, because this is where Serpentine really shows you how dangerous he is.
Didn't have quite enough height. You okay? Yeah,
was
sorry.
good.
Yeah. Try. I'll take
Let's
seconds
go.
Nice.
Let's give this actual
30
really good.
seconds to a minute of stage right there.
Yeah, that skips like a minute of the level.
I will absolutely take second
You
try.
just kind of jump around the half a significant chunk of the stage.
Yeah, we mentioned actually earlier about Dazzle. Another of the resources provided were actually the maps of the stages. So one
And
of
the funny
runners
thing
of
is
game,
that the
actually,
stage used to be
Mila Runner,
harder
he
when the
was
game
actually
first
looking at
came
the
out,
map
but
and he was like, oh, we can actually get there.
over time we've
Well,
kind of like adjusted it to be
now
a
everyone
little more
wants
fair to
skip,
first-time
30
players.
second section, thanks to that.
It's a very difficult jump.
Yes.
Particularly as Carol.
precise.
The other characters have a bit of an easier time with it, I think.
Yeah, like,
I don't know. It
Playing through this stage as Mila in adventure mode
Very
is so
quick character.
cathartic.
Most things do.
So a lot of more
Like, you just
teleporters
can't
and
help
getting
but
to the
cheer
final
at the
boss
end
of
for her.
stage, which is again Titan Armor, the one we fought in Nalao Lake.
And,
having
like,
a mech, but this time
Her voice
we don't
actress,
have a
Amy
mech,
Smith,
and it has
she
a
loves
lot-
Mila so much.
It's a really
Yeah.
difficult fight.
It's why
Like, she's constantly gushing about, like, what an honor it was to voice her, and I'm so grateful for that. And she did so amazing, like,
Yeah,
with,
real
with
talk,
Mila's, like,
I'm
whole
so
arc during the
glad
Bacchanal.
that auto fire got added for Carol because this boss was a nightmare on my arm.
Like,
before that.
Yeah.
Amy loves voicing Mila so much that she
Well,
actually
that's
named
very
her real-life dog after Mila. She calls her Mila
I
Moo.
know.
The health bar down already.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I don't know if I'm right for saying this, but donations.
Yeah, you go for it.
Woo! Oh, so fast.
Perfect.
Well, of course, since he has a huge
We have
hitbox.
a lot. We have a
That makes
$5
Carol
donation
extra dangerous.
from Shinobi J that says, this GDQ has been awesome, and this Freedom Planet 2 run has been great. Let's do this Weapon Core secret stage. This
Yeah.
donation is in honor of my stepmom.
Oh,
who's
wait, was
battling cancer.
that a donation goal?
We also have
to,
a $10
get the true
donation
ending?
from David that reads, you all do an awesome job. Freedom Planet 2 was my favorite game last year. Here is some money for the Weapon Core.
Aha!
And we also
I wonder
have
if
a
they're gonna
$50
reach it.
donation from Templar Warden that says, it was GDQ that introduced me to the first Freedom Planet, and I had a blast playing it. I didn't know there was a sequel. Here's for charity, and as thanks for showing off.
Yeah,
great
that's kind of the
games.
challenge of having a small
So,
indie
right
game
here,
studio.
First off, you can exchange.
We don't
the
have
two
the
secondary
marketing
currencies
budget of larger studios.
for gyms.
So we survive mainly on
then we
word of
bought
mouth.
Metatron because this stage has
And there are a non-trivial number of people who played Freedom Planet 1
take damage from those.
who don't know that the second game is out
those
now.
are metal elements, so
I've even heard of some fans of the first Freedom Planet who didn't even know we were
Specifically,
working on
when
a
you touch
sequel.
A wall, whenever you touch
It's
a wall on
very
the
tricky to
stage,
get the word out unless
all
you have
walls
like a
and floors
dedicated marketing team who
will
can
zap you after a brief
like
moment.
get the word out on
As
all the
Carol, we
relevant
spend a lot
like
of time on the
platforms and
walls,
channels.
So we kind of don't want to deal with that.
And like actually like buy like ad space on like major like video
Shield health
platforms.
stacks in this game, so like when he broke the extra shield there, he now has 4 shield hits instead of 2.
But hopefully,
that is
since
really
we are
annoying.
getting help with publishing the console versions of the game over the summer, hopefully that will help a lot because they have like a marketing team, of course.
What's the cap? 13? 12?
I don't know actually, but
it's 2 times
I was
max
gonna
health.
say that there's also a potion you can buy, the same as the attack potions have the accelerator. That
Oh
is,
my gosh,
you
Lunar
do
Cannon is so
more
beautiful.
Hits for your shields.
It would be very
So
serene and
basically you can
atmospheric if
combine
it
that
wasn't
with
for the like
shield start
the
and
death
have,
floors, the
like,
laser, like the
I
electric
don't know, like
zap
16
floors.
hits in the shield from the beginning of the stage. Can that be
But if you come here with a metal shield, you don't have to worry about that at all.
2 times max health.
So it's 12
Okay.
shield points.
It's all okay.
But yeah, Proto came up with the idea of the background for this stage where you'll be traveling through
This stage
like
also has this weird
the maw, like the jaw of Bakunawa.
uh,
It's so
just
cool.
kind of carries your momentum.
And
makes
just
this
like the way the
boss,
stage is lit when
difficult to maneuver around.
when it's
because,
dark. my
The game
gosh.
has this subtle little thing.
Yeah.
Where every time
Murga
you attack
Gaming.
boss midair, it moves you.
I
up
love the
just a bit.
boss too.
So if we are attacking this boss and we're midair, we're gonna start rocketing up and away from the boss.
They're trying to stay very grounded for this because of that, although you take a lot of damage on this fight really fast.
Yeah,
Like
this,
that.
this fight
That's very
is
scary.
very aggressive.
Oh, yep, you're getting blasted with the
there's
full
something
power of the
I don't think
Bakunawa
we
laser,
mentioned,
so
is that with certain hits,
it does a
actually
lot
you
of
get
damage.
armor. And getting armor actually makes you.
I believe
get
this
less
is the
damage and
only the second death
your
of the run.
animations not being cancelled.
Third.
So
now.
it's important actually to find what hits actually have armor and use them in the right moments.
For
to
Carol
actually
specifically,
Yeah,
prevent
the
that.
animation
the big
where
super
she's
armor
just
source is gonna
furious
be
when she like
Loud.
rage quits from the console. That's so good. Props
Yeah, I
to
was
Dusty
hoping
for
to
that.
kill the boss when it was still on the ground, because if you're sitting on it and it's in the down center and you stand there, you'll pick up the card immediately and it saves a couple
Yeah,
seconds.
I
All right.
wonder
Final
how
boss
different a
time.
no
This
hit run would be
is not
compared
as
to like a
scary
normal
as-
speed run.
Not as scary as you might think, but it's definitely still somewhat scary. So
Doing it
Yeah.
with no
Oh,
lives.
thank
going
you
for
for
the
stopping
maximum
by,
damage
Leo.
loadout.
Hope you enjoy the
Yeah,
rest
this
of your
one
day.
actually-
Is that, this boss doesn't
Yeah.
have that much health.
Yeah, I'm
But,
also proud
it
of
has
that
that much
line
health
that
times
she says
6.
when you first start the fight here.
Because
Your suffering will be a masterpiece.
Phases of the moon. That's their gimmick.
Yes.
Well, they do also. Well, they don't all correspond to an element, but this one does. This
Murga
one
and
does.
Lilac are
Like
both
a
water
water
dragons,
shield
and they
completely
are both
involved
very
with every
stubborn
attack they
about
do.
not
Oh,
giving
but that
up and
takes
not
item
dying.
slot unless you can't use
And
maximum
accordingly,
damage loadout.
Murga has 6 phases
So you gotta do
in
it
this
the
fight.
real way if you want to go fast.
And anyways,
This one.
every phase has a different element, so, well, this one would be nullified actually by a fire shield. Blood Moon is actually a very fast one overall for every character.
Oh,
So we move on the third one.
will we get sub
Actually,
140?
you get a little bit of health every time you beat a phase.
Ripping through this.
Yeah. So now Super Moon that actually waves and moves a lot and gets this invulnerability movement. You have to wait for the right moment to actually hit Murga again.
Oh yeah, Voltar, we're still trying to
And
figure
after
out why
this,
that is the
thank you,
case.
Bungie. Checkpoint.
But I think it will be addressed in the
Yeah,
next
the-
patch.
There's
We're
no
gonna
need
make
for
some
that, but
fine-tuned
yeah,
adjustments to
they
weapons
used to
core.
not be one early
This
in
next
development.
phase goes invisible, except not.
Oh,
quite
that's true,
fully.
Sif.
It's
Lilac
hard to
has an
see now,
advantage
like,
in the power of friendship.
Yeah,
Kind of
there's-
true.
you really want to deal as much damage as you can to the boss because
Oh my gosh, this is my favorite, probably
At
my
this-
favorite
at
phase
this
of
point, they
hers,
go invincible.
Eclipse.
Oh,
specifically
that
for
was
this.
close.
I almost got it, but not.
Oh my
like-
gosh.
Yeah, I picked
It's
the
such a
wrong
clench
shadow.
moment.
It splits into 4 and only one of them hits.
Yeah. There is actually a way to notice which one is, but you have to be really fast on your eye for that.
So,
Yeah,
It's
Punchy,
like
what the
the
heck
real
is a
one.
Lilith?
Yeah, this is Lilith.
Like,
it's the
has
name of
lot
the moon.
That's a good point,
What moon
Mike.
phase?
Like, if this were like a comic or a TV
They're
show,
all
I would
moons.
want
Yeah, but
the
I've
final
never, ever
fight
heard
to
of
strictly
a moon
between
phase called
be
Lilith.
between Murga and
Well,
Lilac.
it's because it's moonflowers. Like I said, the villain's hobby
Maybe
is
with a
gardening.
little bit of support from the others.
Okay, I've never heard of moonflowers.
Well, they're,
I-
they're a
okay.
thing. The game
Yeah,
tells you
okay.
about them. Read the lore.
Okay, one last funny thing here.
Oh yeah,
So
we have
for
to
whatever
restart the
reason,
checkpoint.
resetting to this checkpoint removes the barriers at the edge of the arena, and you can do something kind of funny.
Yeah, it doesn't let
Yeah.
you leave the arena, but it does prevent you from
Oh
grabbing
gosh,
onto them.
is that why? Is that why
see,
you
I
can
gotta
lock
rematch
her in
spot.
place
Messed it
if
up,
you restart from the
unbelievable.
checkpoint?
Wait, still
Maybe-
good?
Oh, there you go.
Still
There we
good.
go. You got it.
Okay.
She's good. Okay, nice.
So you can just...
Actually,
Oh,
this is
right,
what
that's
you can
why.
do thanks to that.
Okay, so you remove the barriers.
because there's no wall to stop you, you can just sit in the corner and WoW Claw for the rest of the fight.
Right. So without the walls there, as
That
usual,
was really fast.
Very
you can take
fast.
advantage of
Yeah.
like the fact that you attack
it's not-
faster
it's time.
if you're running
After
faster.
this-
No, it's not time. Time is not yet.
It's after the cutscene skip, the next cutscene.
It's very soon though, like 5 seconds from now.
What is that? Why is Carol...
It locked the animation.
Frame.
yeah, but still, that was a
time.
weird
Time.
frame.
Time.
Yay!
GG.
All right.
That was time.
And the reason that's time is because that's when the game timer stops counting.
My name
So let's
flashed
see
by
what my
really
Congratulations! It wasn't sub 140,
Yeah.
but that's still an amazing time.
140.
That's pretty
Cool.
good for
Like to even beat this game like
I'm
under
decently happy with that. It's
3 or
not a
4
PB
hours
whatever.
is phenomenal.
All right, so I'm just gonna get right into the.
Congratulations,
the
Uranium
you get it,
Anchor.
Yep. Right. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is the only stage I have this unlocked on.
Oh, did they reach the goal to play
go.
Weapons Core?
Yes,
Oh,
this is
sorry,
the
I-
secret stage, normally unlocked by
Yeah.
completing a series of optional challenges and revealing a bunch of hidden lore about the game world that Progmos clearly didn't read. So you do that, you get a
I
secret
swear I read
hidden
that.
level.
I guess I just missed
That's so
that
cool.
one specific
Oh,
line.
he's timing it separately.
Anyway, this is Weapons Core. It's at the core of the big spaceship that which tries to eat the moon. That's a thing that
Oh,
happens
yeah,
in this game.
we
We rather
did
glossed
mention
over
that.
Yeah, if you're fast enough,
So, yeah,
syntax
we have
never
the lightning
appears
tower puzzles, but
before the
we have
boss
a very
fight.
specific gimmick on this stage. And it's that if you stay, I think, if you stay so long in one place, it was like that.
See that spotlight?
Yeah.
That's kind of faint, but following the character.
So yeah, basically you cannot linger or you get instant kilo. So you want to be moving all the time.
Casually, that's probably gonna kill everyone. But we're speedrunners,
Yeah.
so we don't really care.
Yeah, usually there's a meter on the left side of the screen that shows like how alerted the boss is to your presence, and when it maxes out, they instantly kill you with no recourse. But UA's been moving so fast, the meter hasn't actually appeared yet.
Yep. The stealth meter only appears
yeah,
once.
actually,
Well, there she is.
There
There we
it
go.
is. There it is.
The
We
meter
have to
only
stay for the
appears
puzzles.
once
My
there's something to
bones.
measure that he was
We
going
have a
so
new
fast, he
record.
Sort of stopped the HUD element from appearing. Okay.
Well, actually, this routing seems very
Thanks for
clean
the
so far.
syntax jump scare.
Yeah,
That
this
was
is
neat,
a
but I
very
still have
big
nightmares to
run.
this
I'm
day.
actually laughing on this
Sorry
stage.
about that, Noah Tick.
There is one Mila run of this stage on the boards, and that's it. That
Yeah.
nobody has run this stage.
So yeah,
Get out.
on top
Oh,
of
wow.
having to deal with spotlight, you're also dealing with mechanics that require you to stand still. So, yay.
Oh, that's surprising. Even a
that's a big
speedrunner
Also, those blocks are not very
gets
healthy.
to the next alert phase because of how you have to stop for the
this part because I got caught by the block. I was not gonna make it.
power circuits.
You will. I believe you will.
Get out.
No, got it nice and clean.
Got it on second
Okay,
try.
good.
Okay, he cleared it.
That's the large puzzle room, I think.
Just want to quickly say that a new incentive has opened for Blinks the
Yeah,
Time
I've heard the
Sweeper
wolf
upgrade to
in
all
Puss in
medals that
Boots
has to be
2
met
is
before
quite scary.
the beginning of that run. We're at 1,800 out of 5,000, so get those donations in quickly if you want to see that.
Ooh, I do.
Yep, this is the
Anyways,
true
this
final
is-
boss.
This is the yes, the true
I've now
final
auditioned.
boss.
Yeah,
True,
Punchy.
true final boss.
That's why I said.
You are joined in this by your friends, who kind of absent-mindedly move around and sometimes do things that are useful.
This
Yeah.
Walker betrayed me one last time. I'm gonna miss the phase. God damn it.
Well, they're still better than Carol in Free on Planet 1 when you play Fortune Knight as Lilac.
If that hits you, it instantly kills you. You
And
can't
it's
revive.
not just instant kill. It also destroys you, so you can't revive, like how Punchy was talking about earlier.
Yes.
So
thing
after
with this
taking
boss-
3 faces down,
Yeah,
well,
Syntax's
the boss actually healed
dash
now, so
Yeah,
we have to
is
start all
one
over
of the
again.
very few things in the game that can outright explode
I
you.
have to knock it down to
And of course, you
3
can't
health,
revive if there's
white,
no
and
body
then
to
the final
revive.
phase starts.
So that's like a forced
Really?
restart to checkpoint.
Oh,
It
The
got
boss
this
doesn't
attack.
switch phases
No phase
when,
good.
when it's attacking. So.
Yeah, it got into this phase before. Okay.
It's gotta complete the loop. It's gotta complete
Okay.
the loop.
so Cats in Time, Merga is now
Yeah,
helping
this
us.
boss,
Oh,
the boss
sorry,
music
spoilers?
is
Okay,
is
and
really
now
cool.
we have,
It's like a
the final boss
it's like a
without him.
mix between the
We showed
Bacchanal
the
stage
secret
music
final boss
and
on
Brevin's
stream.
theme.
The time
Yeah,
spoilers.
I mean,
Right.
what is the
Brevin's final
spoiler?
boss theme.
You're watching the final secret boss.
I mean,
of
they don't even know what the final boss is without context.
Fair enough. Anyway, UA is this is tense. Oh,
that's
no
gonna be
dangerous.
This fight's actually pretty difficult casually. I say pretty. I mean really difficult casually.
Oh yeah, and Brevin is back. In the
Yeah, she's got the Brevin hologram.
Yeah. Oh, Sigwares.
Whoa, whoa! Oh, this is so close.
Wow, this is. Oh no, that was so close.
Oh no!
That was actually some sick
That
dodges there.
sucks a lot. Okay.
This stage specifically, probably because the boss is so hard, gives you infinite continues, but we still have to start the boss fight over, sadly.
Yeah, the worst part about it is that the no stocks is bugged, and I actually have 2 lives, which means I'm going to be doing less damage.
Yes. It's gonna be less damage.
That's still a thing. I thought
Yeah,
we
sadly,
fixed that in the
was
last
not one of the
patch.
things they fixed today.
But it's on the list, I believe. I told actually Sabrina about that the other day.
Okay, I'll have to.
Yeah,
Take a look
to be
at that.
fair, like, I didn't even know about that
Yeah.
until like Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The discussion about that was like, I don't know, a week ago, I think.
Yeah, Murga was planned to be an assist in the second phase, but we didn't have time before
But I
release.
think remember I said this.
And it's still kind of tricky with the way that the assists are programmed in this fight.
Oh, it
yeah,
does. Damn.
I think it heals.
Yeah,
But I
it only
think
heals
if
once.
we have,
Oh, okay,
um,
only once. Yeah, I knew there was.
if we have the
something
time
different
and
about
like
that. I played this stage like.
and the
only
help for it,
2
then
times on it.
what I want to do is make
Oh,
all
no,
of the
I
allies
agree.
attack
Yeah.
more aggressively.
Okay, wait a minute. I have extra lives.
Yeah, you can do it.
Honestly,
Like it wouldn't affect
this is risky,
speedruns that much, but it would make
consider just
fighting this boss casually like
during phases where you can't really attack
a lot
as
easy,
much,
a lot
so
more
you keep
manageable,
the,
I'd say.
Attackers at 0 stop.
What I could do,
Yeah, I'm
what we
not
could
doing
do
that.
is
Yeah,
we
once-
could make the
Yeah,
allies
it's,
attack more
not
aggressively the
opposite
longer
with
you
dodging
take
right
to
now.
defeat the boss.
You revive with only like half a health tackle as well, which should give him like
Yeah.
2 hits at maximum. The quirk of this game's health
The
system.
knife phase makes me the most nervous.
You always have a last chance hit point, except for the 1-hit KO attack we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
that's like the
I
single
have seen
exception.
people actually doing wrong with that, and that's insane.
Also, hi Brevin. Nice to see you
Yeah,
here.
Brevin's slash has a
Yeah.
very big hitbox. Yeah, like we
But
still
that
have time
was
to
a
address
very
like
violent attack
a few more
from
things that we
It's
want
just a
to
hologram
add or
here,
change
but still
before the
pretty
console
good.
release in
there
the
we
summer.
go, GG.
Yay!
Well done.
And
Time
Congratulations!
is when the time.
And that was Volcano Evolution. And Secret. No,
Victory!
Weapons Core is the name? Yeah.
Weapons Core is the
Core.
name of the stage. Yes.
Okay.
The boss is named
Yeah.
Bacchanal Fusion.
For a moment, I thought the level was named Secret Level. my bad.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that I died to that, but honestly, like, if I was gonna die anywhere, it was gonna be there. So
Yeah, good
Only
thing.
having to retry that once is still fine.
Yeah, it's a good thing it didn't happen in the main
secret
run.
boss. It was made to be hard.
Yep.
Yes.
The first time I beat this secret boss, I want to say my level time was 35 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I think
Sorry.
about that.
And that was with an
Fun
easier
fact,
item.
this game rules.
Thank you, Sif, for the biddies.
Wow.
Thank you, Voltar, for the help.
I just want to say thanks so much to the games committee for letting me do this. I was talking to Spike earlier and realizing that I probably at the moment have the biggest gap between my first GDQ run and longest GDQ run, because I don't think anybody in either CGDQ or the first AGDQ has run this marathon. And so I currently have the biggest gap between first and most recent run. So I think that's pretty cool.
Oh,
Honestly,
nice.
just like it's really good to be able to get up on the stage like this with something new. Thanks so much to my commentators, because they really helped carry the explanation so that they could concentrate.
Oh, thank you.
really
Yes, thank you to the commentators of the
Thank
run
you for
as well.
inviting.
Yep, thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks
Bye,
for having
Freedom
us.
Planet 2. We worked really hard on it. Yay!
Yes,
It's really
yes,
good.
buy
If
Freedom
you-
Planet
if you
2.
thought this game looked cool, go buy it right now. It's amazing.
I'm
Yep.
obligated to do the advertising
it.
thing.
I am legally obligated to agree.
Buy it, please.
All right. Thanks, y'all. Enjoy the
Just
rest
kidding,
of the
I'm just
marathon.
kidding.
Thanks for
If it's something you
pitching
think
for
you
the
would like, then you
incentive,
can buy it.
and, have a good night.
Bye bye.
Nice. Okay.
What an amazing run from Uranium Anchor and his fabulous commentary team. That really was a treat.
That's so cool.
We had a $5 donation from Lysander that says,
E. Buy Freedom Planet 2 and send Ashley your credit card info. Yeah, that's a running gag with the Pell Crash fandom, to give Ashley your credit card information. Yeah. Okay, let me hop over to chatting. That was really cool. I'm so glad that the speedrunners were able to get into AGDQ. So thank you so much for playing our game and devoting so much of your time and energy into learning how to get like sub 2 hours and beyond. Just thank you so much for the work you put in and for the support that you've given us.